The views expressed on the previous programs are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not reflect those of the Beasley Broadcast Group, its staff, advertisers,
well,
and
that fake Barry jackass is just whipped up to a frenzy today. Keep it coming, Barry.
You're listening to Sports Radio 560 WQAM. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
By the way, Fat Chris is back today with us.
No. Oh, yeah, we're going to make stuff up? Cross your fingers.
You said make stuff up.
I did say make stuff up. Are you ready?
Oh, that Joe Bell's a hell of a guy.
You ready? This may or may not work, all right?
Give it a shot.
He's on the prowl.
It didn't work. What the hell is that?
So that's,
Gotcha.
Sounds like a big open to me.
yeah, that's the big O. He's on the prowl.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's as close as you're going to get to an open
Okay,
today.
well, it's an open for somebody.
Get a life. Oh!
Certificates and what to do. Christmas is over and you know you have a few. Your cash flow sucks and these gift cards are no use. What you need is money for the bills, heat and food. Take all the gift cards that you can handle. Buy something for $1 like a cheap store sample. I promise you many, it's worth the hassle. That's how you take the money refund.
Absolutely.
Go on, take the money refund. Cash gone, take the money refund. Overdrawn, take the money refund. Go on, take the money refund.
Take the money, honey. That's a lot of money, honey. You take the money. I wish you'd have seen that show, that Deal or No Deal. Are you there? What the hell just happened? Oh, boy.
I'm here. I had to go get somebody.
Well, what the hell does that mean? You're here. I just had to go get some what?
Get used to it.
Oh, my God. I'm sitting here wondering, are we on the air? I should have started throwing a few F-bombs in there.
Should have.
What kind of chazarah is this? The show just starts, and right away he's running around doing what?
I had to go get some engineers so that we can play the commercials when they come up because the audio vault is the wrong color, and if it played the big O open, then I don't know what it's going to play the next time I fire it on.
Oh, just relax. What are you getting so concerned all of a sudden?
Oh, you're right. Very good
Mr.
point.
I don't give a crap.
I should not.
Well, stop. I had to go get an engineer.
I got 2.
Yeah, you got 2? I got a pair.
That's what I heard.
So, fake Barry Jackass, who's just all over my ass all this morning. He's just loaded with stuff, mostly about Bubba. Hey, Bubba, you redneck? Hey, Bubba. Barry says Big Dog's been talking about giving a lady and her fatherless son BCS championship tickets for 2 hours. Ponderous. Tuned into Bubba on Rock 93. He has Tucker Carlson on, and then he says, Oi. Oi is right, Barry, whoever you are. Neil at neilrogers.com for all your crap on the emails. Because if you're waiting for phone calls, take a deep breath right now and then exhale. And that's it. Because there aren't going to be very many on this show the next 5 years. You know what I mean by that?
No, what?
The next 5 years, if you hear a call on this show, it'll be very, very rare.
Okay.
Fart into your radio and inhale deeply and smell the aroma and say, oh, wow, what a day this was. It'll be a special day. Just like it's a special day every day for the people in Gaza. Israeli tanks and helicopter gunships went blazing into towns across the Gaza Strip today, attacking Hamas targets and searching for its leaders as the war death toll approached 600. Troops fought Islamist militants around the back alleys of Gaza's main city in the heaviest fighting of the 11-day-old offensive to halt rocket attacks on Israel. Hamas made its deepest rocket strike yet in Israel. One airstrike by the Israelis killed 12 people, including 7 children from the same family in Gaza City. Israeli strikes also hit 2 UN-run schools, one crowded with refugees, killing at least 5 Palestinians, medics and UN officials said. 2 people were killed when an artillery shell slammed into a school in Khan Yunis, and 3 people were killed in an airstrike on a school in the Shati refugee camp in Gaza City. Well, it just goes on. The Arabs and the Jews and the Arabs, they're killing. And, of course, the Arabs have got the pea shooters, and the Israelis got the una bamba grande. It's kind of like the Cowboys and the Indians. Defoe would have been good in the old Wild West. Don't you think?
Yep.
He was a real...
Indian killer.
That stuff we got yesterday about the payout on the slots at Hard Rock and the Indian casinos, that was the most bogus information. That one call, and there's another example of a call. Well, you can't complain about the calls on this radio station. We don't have any. I mean, there actually are voices on the phone, but they're not real callers. They're just cranks and chronics and lifeless idiots. And if Joe Bell really thinks that I'm going to subject myself ever again to what I went through here yesterday for 4 hours, you're a crazy fat person. You're not just a fat jerk, which we already know you are. You're a crazy fat jerk. And this business about, oh, you've been ripping management for years. Well, you know, that's true because most of them are idiots, with a couple of exceptions. But never, ever on this scale. There is nobody I've ever worked for who's even in the same league with this fat-ass goofball. Ho, ho, ho! There goes Neil again. Ho, ho. Yeah, get out of my life, Joe Bell. Write a check. Write a big, fat check, and I'll go away, and then we can both go. What?
Well, that's not
no, they're not doing that. What they're doing, like you said this morning, they're trying to destroy the show piece by piece by attrition. Mm-hmm. Just like the audience is vanishing on all AM radio by attrition. On all terrestrial radio, all radio, period. By the way, that Sirius stock's holding steady at 13 cents. Anybody want some?
No.
Come on.
No.
$1 a holler. Now, here's Barry Jacket. Let me give the poll result from yesterday, because I don't want to get too deeply into all this radio stuff. The audience likes radio stuff, though.
Yeah, they do.
They don't like radio, but they like radio stuff, you know, inside Chazarai. 1,003 votes on yesterday's poll. That's pretty impressive, even though they get 7 million votes on their polls daily across the street, whichever station might be across the street. Here's the poll from yesterday, and it wasn't all that exciting either, I didn't think. Did you think it was exciting?
No, not really.
No. Which utility company or service provider do you hate the most? With all respect to Charlie B., I mean, Charlie's had better polls than that. But it was okay. Got 1,003 votes. Credit card, 226. Cable TV, 223. Every time a pigeon farts, somebody's cable goes out somewhere. Electric power, 194. Cell phone, 83. Land phone, 58. Bank, 51. And as a little follow-up to my story yesterday about my bank and my 13 phone calls that I had to make in the last 4 weeks about the 14th yesterday.
All right.
Go to use my ATM card again yesterday for a certain amount of Woodbine. No dice. So I used a smaller. It wouldn't cough up a dime. And I get home last night and I made the same call I've made 13 previous times. I guess 13 was an unlucky number because 14 followed. And at least this broad was honest. She said, well, I can't guarantee it won't happen again. So I said to her, so in other words, you have no control over your computers or over... No. She was from Fraud Protection.
Frog protection?
Yeah, frog protection. That's what you need in South Florida. This time of the year, you need frog protection. Anyway, Bank 51, they absolutely suck. And I didn't even mention about how they hold your checks for days and weeks and months. And, of course, your check clears usually within 1 or 2 days, no matter where it comes from. Because it's all done electronically now. Am I right?
Yep.
How would you like to be in the business of holding other people's money? Then you can make interest on it while they sit around and wait for it to supposedly clear.
Great scam.
Bank 51, Internet Provider 45, Satellite TV 34, Postal Service 33, Garbage Pickup 14, Gas 12, Water 12, Satellite Radio 8, Landscaping 6, Pool Cleaning 4 out of 1,003 votes. That's the final tally on yesterday's fine Charlie B. poll. So Barry Jackass says Bubba fans are pissed off. And then a little bit later we got Bubba's responding. Let's do a whole thing about the Bubba show. Let's not listen to it. Let's just do a thing about it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, he's not on now anyway, but he was on this morning. I wonder if he peed on my leg again. I didn't feel any moisture.
No? Was it warm?
Yesterday we had a few spy reports. Not all that many, which means either he don't have many people listening or we don't, or both.
Hey, it was the first day. I'm sure there'll be, like, all these spy reports next week.
About what?
About everything.
About him peeing on my leg?
Sure.
I don't need him peeing on my leg.
Heard it was cold up there.
It is. Oh, look at this. Here's one from the fake Stan Major. Oh, yeah. The fake Stan Majors sends me an article that everybody's read a million times. Dolphins sale could change everything. Yeah, we know. And I don't care. Not interested in the Dolphins. George and Neil, Dan Mitchell, an economist at the Cato Institute DC think tank, will be in Miami Wednesday through Friday, attending a speaking tour on the bailout.
Woo.
While he's in Miami, would you be interested in having him on your show to discuss how national economic movements affect the Miami area? No. Signed, Izzy Santa.
Could have been signed Izzy Crazy.
Izzy Santa. Izzy Jesus. Izzy and A-hole from the Cato Institute. Very funny. No, we don't do guests, okay? We don't do boring, ponderous guests. Anyway, so Barry says, those who are excited about Bubba the Love Sponge returning to Sirius XM for... And by the way, before I read this, I just want to send a message to Joe Bell and Clarence and Joyce. See, one thing you haven't learned about me is I'm a survivor, and you can pull out all the tricks, all the stops. You can do everything in your power to devastate this show, and we'll just keep showing up here as long as we want to. For 5 years. Am I right?
Sure, until you, get fed up.
As long as the checks keep coming, we'll keep coming back, regardless of anything else you try to do. And I'm sure that Anita's waiting in the wings to do middays, but nevertheless, or do whatever she's going to do. Anita's on the way, by the way, from Baltimore.
That's what I heard.
She's got a great ass. So Barry says Bubba fans are pissed off. Those who are excited about Bubba the Love Sponge return to Sirius XM for his new 2-year deal tuned in today only to be unbelievably disappointed. No longer will the loyal fans be able to hear Bubba's raw and uncut radio show on Howard 101. Instead, the once great show has been replaced by a replay of his watered-down morning drive terrestrial radio broadcast. After months of wondering, fans were finally assured that the Bubba the Love Sponge show would be returning to Sirius XM airwaves January 5 by the likes of Scott Greenstein, Howard Stern, and Bubba himself. Why would not one of them mention something as important as the terms of this new deal? Looks like the joke is on us, says Barry. Why Sirius XM thinks that this is okay and their subscribers will pay for non-exclusive content they can just as easily get for free is totally beyond me. Let the call center storm begin, Barry says. As a matter of fact, let's dig it and make sure that the world knows that Sirius XM is now just replaying terrestrial radio. I give them 6 months. Serious. Seriously.
Serious? Oh.
I give them 6 months. 13 cents a share. Replaying terrestrial radio stuff that people can hear for free. Would you pay to hear exactly the same thing you can hear for free unless you're a crazy person, unless you're demented?
No, thank you. How much?
Unless you're like Dr. Demento?
How much?
Let's just replay some old Dr. Demento stuff.
I got some.
And Chicken Man. Do you ever hear Chicken Man?
I don't know.
That was pretty funny stuff back in the day. 532 votes on the poll. When Neil hangs up his microphone, or himself, for good, what will George do? Start his own show, 140. Go home and wait for something to happen, 121. Get a real job, 112. Become a full-time drug dealer, 38. That's what I voted. Good money in that white powder. Commit suicide, 32. Join the roller derby, 28. Become a panhandler, 21. Become a carny, 19. Become a male hooker, 14. I don't think so.
No.
Become a pimp, 7. 532 votes on your future. So just hope I keep showing up every day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure that when I would step aside, they'd give you a big...
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Boys, have your attention now. I'm afraid I have some very bad news.
What?
Well, we hired a new air personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a woman. Yes, I know. But when management heard her audition tape, they wanted to hire her immediately. Her name is Anita Marks. Now here, listen to this.
Welcome to the Anita Marks Sporthole program. Mention the secret sport hole and win $50. You may be wondering why I'm dressed this way. Well, I need a broad but could never find one. I thought of changing my name to Anita Broad, but that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. So I changed it to Anita Marks, and just to make matters worse, I woke up this morning with a hockey puck in my panties. How it got there, I'll never know. Don't forget to visit your Plymouth DeSoto dealer and tell him Anita sent you.
No.
I know.
That's coming any day to a station near you, like this one. Aren't you excited about it?
Thrilled.
Well, we hear that she's hot. Didn't you see that picture?
You okay?
I'm okay. This cold has just taken a long time to go away. That's all. It's just the ass end of it. I got lots of Ricola, though. Ricola. Don't you love those spots?
Yes, I do.
Ricola. They're pretty good. And I got the natural herb, not the sugar-free or no sugar added, because those have sorbitol, and they make me, I'd be running like a lunatic. Anyway, getting back to the important emails, there sure aren't a whole lot of them coming in yet, but let me tell you right now, if I have to read the Toronto yellow pages and the white pages,
yeah,
that's what I'll do.
You can read the back of cereal boxes.
That's what I'll do, as opposed to taking those calls. No effing chance. None. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Only a lunatic, only a certifiably insane person in a position of authority in this company, in this radio station, would sit back and do nothing while this crap goes on. And that's exactly what they've done. Because they don't know what they'll... I don't know what to tell you, Neil. I don't know what to tell you. No matter what the question is, I don't know what to tell you. That's the response of this lunkhead. But then again, he's getting you that car. Now, what more have you heard about the car?
Oh, nothing.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing? No thing?
No thing. Not a thing.
Well, speaking of things, here's an email I got last night, 9:27 p.m. The highlight of my night, it says. And I want you to listen to this.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. In response to a question about Dwayne Collins' free throw technique, Frank Haith said, Brian the Beast London. On-air talent, Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami, sideline reporter, senior producer, University of Miami Sports Network, I am the Beast, with 3 exclamation points. 4. Now, can you interpret that for me?
No.
In response to a question about Dwayne Collins' free throw technique, Frank Haith said, Brian the Beast London.
I must be missing something.
Yeah. Does this make any sense to anybody?
No.
Maybe he went into like sugar overload or something. I know when your blood sugar gets over like 900, it does affect you. Oh, look at that. Somebody don't get the message there. Look at that.
What? There's a controversial.
Barry follows up on this stuff about, it says, Bubba's response to the Schmidt storm. I guess there's a lot of really pissed off people that got led down the garden path, thought that his show coming back to Sirius meant that it was like the real unedited show and not just a replay of his terrestrial watered-down radio show. And believe me, if anybody knows about watered-down radio shows, we do here. Oh, don't say this and don't say that and don't play one of those. Oh, jeez. Bubba is talking to the fans on forums at btls.com, says Barry. And Barry evidently has a problem this morning.
I have no lie.
Uh-huh. I mean, if you're going to be obsessed with somebody, you could find somebody better to be obsessed with than that yahoo. Link, Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Topic, I'm sorry you're upset. I knew you would be. And it goes on and on and on. And then really bitching these serious people out. Something fierce about what a bunch of liars they are. And they basically told me in order to get money you think you deserve, go do regular radio if you think you can. They don't pay anybody any money. And he says, the only thing us guys wanted was to get our lives back. My health has gotten worse. My marriage isn't doing that well. And I never, ever got to spend any time with my kids. I leave the house at 4:30 in the morning and not get back till 8 p.m. and go right to bed. Why do I have to do 2 shows in order to make the kind of money that other radio personalities do for 4 hours a day? Again, why is this my fault? I'm sorry if you felt I betrayed you, then yada, 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 yada. And then a second post, I wish I could have given you the heads up, but I couldn't. I'm sure you understand. No, they don't understand. They're pissed off and fired up at you, Bubba. You have no idea how much this has freaked me out. He says, I take pride in keeping in touch with our listeners. I take pride in us caring and being accessible. So I hope you understand this Schmidt storm is really, really hard. Well, evidently he's getting a lot of a negatory response. But you know something? Negatory response is at least something. It's better than no response. We don't get any response. We get nothing. Let me take a look in that Outlook Express. Neil at neilrogers.com. Oh, look at there's a couple of things on there. Brandon chimes in. He says, I listened to a little more of Bubba this morning. Boy, we are Bubba intensive. Don't say we didn't promote his damn stinking show. And two things, Brandon says. One thing I'd read about Bubba was that on Fridays after his morning show, he would do a little show, a live show on Sirius. I was listening this morning, and the only thing he could talk about is himself and how he has his spies in Clear Channel sending him information so he can work on taking it down. That's what the entire show is about, how Bubba can take out Cheap Channel. Once again, he's unlistenable. I'll just go and listen to Elvis Duran and Y100. He's actually very good and a million times better than Footy and Kenny Walker, whatever they were on. Y100. What? Kenny Walker? Is somebody knocking Kenny Walker from the Kenny and Blow morning show?
That's what it sounded like.
You better get with it, Brandon. Kenny Walker was a good friend of Joe Bell. And that show went over like a pregnant pole vaulter with her arms tied together in the middle of July. Here's one from the fake Larry King. I've been listening to Mo on Sirius NFL Radio. He's been sounding okay. He still lives in Boca. He gets a little defensive, though, when he gets a call from someone in Miami. There have been a few wise guys who have called him Mo. Pretty funny, though, says the fake Larry King. Well, there's a couple for you right there.
All right.
I mean, I got a couple more, but not a whole bunch, not a pile. And, of course, part of the reason for that being that all of our good close personal buddies out there, the fake Greg Budell and the fake Sonny Fox and the fake of this one, and then in the real Johnny Dork, these people aren't coming through for us now that we're in the new year.
Well, maybe they're slow starters.
Or maybe they're just abandoning the sinking ship. That could be it. See, one thing about us, we don't put on any song to dance. We don't pretend. When the numbers come out, we admit we suck. The audience is gone. The station is gone. The signal is, like, unlistenable. Phil Ark, who vacillates in between being a pain in the ass and sending something he thinks is useful. Today he writes, Clear Channel executives are meeting this week in Dallas, and they're figuring out the lucky 20% who are being fired. As you know, Bain Capital, Romney's outfit, took over last year. They'll finally implement their restructuring plan this week. They have a formula grid where they place all sales, holds management, and on-air talent. It works by determining in what color category you fall, how much you make versus how much you bring in. If you fall into the red category, you're out, regardless of ratings or anything else. If you fall into the gray area, then you'll have to stay, something. It's chopped off. Regardless of this, the important thing is that 20% of the people at Cheap Channel are going to get fired. Start with Paulie Castronova, please, says Phil. I can't stand that pompous bitch. You're always ahead of the curve, Neil. Yeah, I'm ahead of it. Maybe behind the 8 ball, but ahead of the curve.
All right.
Don't you feel better that we aren't taking any calls? I see a couple of them flashing on there.
I don't.
I might be tempted, but then again, we have a break.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
It's the DA Show. Weeknights from 8 to 11. Here on
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The Sports Leader.
Oh, God.
Way down south, where the mugwumps go to hang from trees and play banjo. You got some who own a station on newfangled radio. Now as North Carolina grows, Raleigh's a big city, you know, and that's where the Beasleys had to go for Jolly Riley Joe. A new GM, he'll do what he can, shake your hand like a friend, then quickly walk away. They had Joe go to 560 with ratings in the toilet bowl to get those flaming sportful mows in order and control. And then so Jolly Raleigh Joe, a buckler and in the know, he lets Mo go, and here's what blows, gives Geldy his own show. He'll make a big change and rearrange. It's worse or the same, he hasn't done a thing.
No.
For what goes on the air at 2, Joe don't have a stinking clue about a format that essentially blows sport hole radio. The GM of 560, Jolly Raleigh Joe.
Oi!
Speaking of him, I got an email from him, which you'll be most amused or unamused.
Okay.
In fact, I'll tell you what my response was to him. I wrote back to him, your lame attempts at humor continue to be pathetic, or something like that.
Okay.
Here's the email From Joe Bell. Happy New Year. This is from the real Joe Bell, by the way. Not sure why you think I want you to leave. I love our new deal, and I'm looking forward to you being a big part of WQAM for the next 5 years. Joe Bell.
All right.
Aren't you impressed?
I'm heart-warmed.
Yeah. I just want to vomit. And like I said, his feeble attempts at humor. Stand back and watch. You know, he's like Nero. You know, he's playing the fiddle. He's fiddling it. And Rome is burning. And the interesting part is he's the one that set the fire. The Mole says, speaking of Jolly Joe Bell, I spotted Joe Bell and Anita Marks having lunch together at Bo Camper's Sports Bar on Saturday. The station was doing a Dolphin pep rally, and those two were yucking it up. I think maybe Jolly Joe dumped Fat Chris for this she-man. I think that Chris has got bigger breasts, but Anita may have a vagina, so she wins, says the Mole. How do you like that spy report, huh? Pretty heavy duty. Keep the emails coming, Jolly Joe. Believe me, you're one of the only ones that's sending any. You and Barry Jackass and the Mole. There's just nothing coming in. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Here's a couple. One of them is a picture, though. Don't waste your time sending me pictures, okay? There's nothing I can do with them. I have no idea what this is like some homeless-looking guy, and he's got his head on some other, I don't know, some deadbeat bum. I don't know what that is. Isn't that great when they send you pictures? When the material you're supposed to have on the emails is to use on the air. It's a little bit difficult to use pictures on the air, you morons.
Well, hold it up to the microphone there.
There you go. You see it?
Ooh, look at that.
Larry says, you're right about Joe Bell. I emailed him last week telling him how George does not belong on the radio, and he's ruining your show. He responded, I know, that's why we have him on his show. Says Larry, that's cute. Mm-hmm. That's funny. So keep ruining the show.
I will. Trust me.
I'm sure of that. So what do you think of that? That he would take the time to send me something stupid like that?
I think that it's sweet. I think it's adorable.
Oh, well, you're just sucking around for that car, that's all.
There you go.
You're not fooling anybody.
I didn't think I was.
Daryl says, last week I had the opportunity to listen to an old show with you and Bob Lassiter. The best radio ever, pure gold. Radio will never be the same. Well, that's for damn sure. It never will be the same, regardless. The days of local quality radio is almost in the hopper. Keep up the great radio for people like us who really enjoy listening to gold, says Daryl. Old and gold. Oldies and goldies and geldies. Ow! Yep. Got a dead guy. Not somebody you ever would have heard of.
Well, try me.
Well, let me find his name.
Okay.
Carl Pohlad.
Never heard of him.
He was the 93-year-old owner of the Minnesota Twins. He died yesterday, never retired even after making a fortune. How do you like that?
Okay.
Loyalty became a Twins hallmark under Pohlad, it says. Owning the Twins was his great love, well, whatever. That's it, he's dead, he was 93. That's more than old enough. 93, my ass, God. Don't you think 93 is old enough?
Sure, I'll take it, though.
And here's, I think this is the last email I have in the present bunch, but then I've got like 75 articles ripping Israel the ass they so richly deserve. Oh, there you go again, trying to prove a point, yeah. The only point I'm trying to prove is that the American media is full of crap. And the American government, but we already know that. This is from Anonymous. It says, on Saturday, January 10, 2009, also Saturday, January 17, 2009, in numerous cities worldwide, the group Anonymous will be staging its 12th monthly protest against Scientology organization. This will complete a full year of Internet-driven demonstrations stemming from Scientology's attempts at censorship in January of last year. Following this shameful debacle, the Project Canology movement was born. February 2008 then ushered in the start of an ongoing series of nonviolent protests by the group Anonymous. Anonymous is a loosely affiliated group of dedicated people from all walks of life and all over the world, connected only by the common goal of exposing the corrupt and abusive practices of the organization Scientology. To further their goal, the web-based activists have held monthly protests and rallies worldwide with the intent of bringing Scientology abuses to the public domain and urging politicians to take action. The past year of activism has led to Anonymous being accused of an endless number of criminal acts of retaliation and other malicious tactics employed by the Church of Scientology. Despite the harassment, Anonymous continues to provide and freely distribute information relevant to the interest of the public, regardless of numerous attempts by Scientology to silence their criticism. The cause has been taken up by thousands worldwide and continues to draw new members daily. Anyone interested in learning more about Anonymous, opposing Scientology, or participating in activism themselves are encouraged to visit AnonStillAlive.com. ANON StillAlive.com. Got it? AnonStillAlive.com?
Got it. I wrote it down.
The website provides a list of active Anonymous cells in existence, as well as their local websites, activities, and people to contact. Information on the upcoming Saturday protest is also readily available. Well, that's good, because the Scientology people are evil. It's just a big closet full of
gay
queens, like Tom Cruise and John Travolta and like that. How'd you like that story yesterday about John Travolta and his male lover, who was the nanny to his now dead son?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
No, I heard it. I don't know if liking it is the right
No, I don't
word.
mean how'd you like it. Don't you think it was interesting?
It was very
bizarre?
interesting. It was very eyebrow raising.
Look at those emails, baby. You can't complain about those because there aren't any.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Yank it, baby.
Quite frankly, I'd rather discuss it with the FCC and the state attorney's office and the human rights for the state. You're putting on filth, and it's in a time when children can flip the channels. At 8:45, you put on that filth. I cannot believe you're doing that. But I certainly intend to pursue it, and you should too, because your station is going to get sued for being racist as well as sexist. He was denigrating all Jamaican women.
Uh-huh.
That was before he talked about anal sex.
Rectum.
And blowjobs.
Oh.
I don't think that's appropriate at 8:45 at night.
I
think you better do something about it.
Wow, I wonder what time it is appropriate, yeah.
After 10, I think.
Is that it? Which part? 16 before 11 at 560 WQM. Let's take a look at the schedule. Maybe Jolly Joe is going to have his own show sometime today, because he's sure working at his amateur comedy. Oh, what makes you think I want you to leave, Neil? I love our new deal. Well, I hate it. I hate it, and I hate you, too, like poison. You're an evildoer. Only a moron would come into this radio station and, based on his personal hostility and general just all-around negativity, try to destroy the most successful show on the station, and along with any other ones, too. And you're sure doing a hell of a job, man. One thing about Joe Bell, he's brought us all down pretty much to the same level. The same level of failure. Here's a great email. It says, as Hall & Oates said, you're out of touch, out of time. Will you ever do your show again from Florida in the little time you have left? No, I absolutely will not, and that's because idiots like you who sent me this email are all over the place. I was just down there for 5 days. It was plenty long enough. Plenty long enough. And I didn't see anything that I was out of touch with.
You touched everything?
Same old and older people waddling around made me feel like a child. And I saw, the only thing I did see that I hadn't seen before, now we have a Walgreens on every corner. Used to be every other corner last time I was down a couple months ago, and now there's a Walgreens on every street corner. Doesn't that make you feel good?
I'm ecstatic.
What is that picture of the Capitol with all the clouds around it? Do you see that on CNN?
No, I'm not watching CNN.
Burris arrives at Senate. They're waiting to see if they'll let his ass in or not. And I'm sure that all of you are hanging on the edge of your seats, waiting in breathless anticipation. I'll tell you one thing. When this cold finally goes away in a day or two, I'm going to be dangerous. I'm going to be really, really dangerous. Let me take a look for those new emails that are pouring in there. Nothing. Got a few polls still sitting in there, but that's it. 597 on our poll about George's future. Yeah, I bet you Joe Bell thinks you got a big future in this station.
Sure.
That's why he's going to go out and get you that new Cadillac.
That's it. Cadillac?
Yeah, Escalade.
Lordy. I can't afford the gas on that.
What?
I said I can't afford the gas on that.
I'll give you a trade-out for the gas.
Oh, excellent. In that case.
Right up there in the corner. Amoco. BP. Destin, a 47-year-old man who allegedly exposed himself to a family on Christmas Day and to deputies who arrived in response to their complaint, has been charged with lewd and lascivious exhibition to a minor. On the afternoon of December 25, on Christmas Day no less, a man, his wife, and the man's 11-year-old daughter were walking their dog along Harbor Boulevard in Destin when they encountered Roy Ronald Rowell Jr., the arrest report says. As they passed, Rowell said, "Nice dog." That's when the father noticed that Rowell's genitals were hanging out of a hole ripped out of the crotch of his jogging pants, according to the report. He must be related to the guy that just sent me the picture of the Schwarzer that sent me his picture with his thing hanging out. Not interested. The father asked Rowell if he was for real. Rowell then grabbed his genitals and said, "Yeah, nice dog." When the deputy asked Rowell to explain himself, he exposed himself to the officer. After he was read his rights, Rowell said he hadn't meant to expose himself to the family. He also stated he didn't understand why they were looking at him, the report states. Yeah, quit looking at my junk. However, as he was being questioned, Rowell exposed his genitals several more times. He was asked repeatedly to close his legs. Close your legs, man. If you close your legs, does that make your genitals disappear?
Generally.
I didn't know that. Huh?
Generally.
I guess if you stick them in there like,
Like Buffalo Bill there?
Right.
If you tuck them in?
Oh, here we go. This is good. Uncle Neil. I feel like the guy. Now, let's see. Which idiot is this from? I feel like the guy that called the bird that day to tell him to shut up. I'm getting to the point that I can no longer listen to you online. It's not you. It's those damn PSA commercials and the sports drop-ins between the two. I'm going nuts. Can't you do something to get them to... Oh, my God, Andrew. Can't you do something to get them to change to the regular commercials that are being played? They're bad enough, but at least they have some variety. Please play anything. Otherwise, take care. The other Andrew. Whatever that means. The other Andrew. You know what that means?
Nope.
It's just another wah, wah, over something that we have no control over, okay? We have no control over it. Nor do we really have any interest in it. The online streaming is there for you for absolutely free. Absolutely free. Now, generally speaking, anybody who listened to the show, they know that the breaks last about 4 minutes.
Right.
So during those 4 minutes, go take a good dump. Go try to find your genitals. Do something constructive, Andrew.
Make a nice sandwich.
And then come back. What?
Make a sandwich.
Yeah. God. Like you said, complaints and critiques. Ba, 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 ba. Ah, wah, wah. Don't bother me. Doesn't faze me. And, of course, Jolly Joe he's too embarrassed to admit that he's shocked that I actually came back today after yesterday. He's too embarrassed to admit that. I'm not. Nope. I'm back again. He just loves our new deal. Ho, ho, ho! Good. I'm happy for you. You're still a jackass. Always will be. Here's one from Joe. It says, big fan of yours since the 80s, but since 2006 I've been a loyal, serious listener. Today with my truck in the shop, I turned on the radio to you. I could give 2 squirts about Bubba the Love Schmuck. Those bumpkins aren't that funny. I never gave them more than a full show of my time in 3 years. I'm curious on the whereabouts of Rick and Suds. He's curious on the whereabouts.
I see.
Rick is in California. Suds is at home sleeping.
Right.
And comes on Fridays when George is doing the show. Am I right?
Every once in a while, yes. Every once in a Friday.
Every now and then. Every what?
Every once in a Friday.
Every month at Donnerstick?
Yeah.
No. You better work on your Yiddish, man. You're slipping badly.
I'll take a class.
6:09 in the poll. When Neil hangs up his microphone or hangs himself, what will George do? Start his own show, 159. Go home and wait for something to happen, 132. Get a real job, 131. Become a full-time drug dealer, 48. Join the roller derby, 35. Commit suicide, 35. Become a panhandler, 24. Become a carny, 20. Become a male hooker, 17. Become a pimp, 8 out of 609. Here's one. Maybe they're just going to trickle in throughout the day today. Do you think so?
There you go.
I don't. What?
Maybe.
You, sir, are miserable. This is from the bridge tender's son.
Great.
Hello, sir. It seems that you're starting off the new year in the same miserable, hateful mood that you've been in since you started doing the show from Toronto. Oh, yeah. That's when it coincides. I was miserable when I came here. Everyone thought your attitude would change in the new year, but we can already see you'll be doing the same old tired show you've done for years. That's correct. You, sir, are truly mailing it in. And why don't you make an announcement next time you're down here in Florida so some of the listeners can have a meeting with you at your house and go over the ways to make your show better because you, sir, lost touch with reality and an old, washed-up, angry queen. And that's what I ought to do is let the people invite them to come to my house next time I'm down so we can have a big meeting.
There you go.
A big powwow.
Sounds great.
About how to regards the bridge tender's son. Isn't that cute? Keep
Awesome.
Keep them coming. I enjoy those more than you'll ever imagine, more than you'll ever understand, in my own masochistic way. 613 votes on your poll. Our goal today is whatever we get. Because now that Tubby is gone, we don't care. Oh, look at this. It says, can you please give me a sample of a good radio show before Joe Bell came? That must be from Joe Bell. Yeah, we had a great show before Joe Bell came. We had great ratings, too. And the reason we had great ratings is because we had a damn good show. And we could play funny bits, and we could say a lot of stuff, and we could do the Neil Rogers show. Now we can't do the Neil. Now we do the Neil Rogers show according to Joe Bell and Joyce.
We can't give them a sample.
And I can't give you a sample because we can't play it. I'll give you a quick sample.
Yeah?
Yeah, just a second.
All right. I wonder what you're going to play.
Here's a quick sample. Now, that's a zipper. That's the sound of a zipper being pulled up or down. But that's what he wanted. He wanted an example of a great show before Joe Bell came. That's somebody evidently defending Joe Bell, which only would be him. Or maybe Bruce Beasley. Here's the fake clearance. I know exactly what George's future is at QAM. He'll be working on the Joe Rose Show. Joe needs another helper in the morning. We love sports, and we'll make George like them, too. Conform to our likes, George, or pay the price. We know you won't mind doing the show by yourself, Neil. I'm sure that's coming up soon. We're going to automate George.
All right.
We're going to get a robot to replace George. What do you think?
Sounds great.
If they could automate it, believe you me, they would.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's really cheap. It's a cost-cutting. It's a cost-cutting measure. Yeah. Let me say it again. As long as the final tubes in the transmitter are glowing, as long as they're vibrating, as long as there's some sound, like, coming through the final tubes, that's all they care about. And as long as there's a lot of spots on here that they can squeeze cash out of from unsuspecting people who don't realize that our signal is so bad that even Joe Bell can't hear it. Pretty sad commentary when the GM can't hear his own station, although in this case, that may not be all bad. Let's take a look at the schedule we got for the rest of the day on award-winning QAM, which used to be great before Joe Bell came to town. Used to have big numbers. We used to dominate the AM market in this town for years. Years! And then Jolly Joe, who's in total denial, came along and, oh, geez, Joyce, you think we can play fart sounds? Oh, I don't know. Let me ask Joyce. Let me ask a corporate. Yeah. This is a guy, seriously, if he ever had to take a dump, you'd never see him again. He would never get off the pot because he could never make that decision, which hand to wipe his ass with. You do understand that, don't you?
Okay.
Oh, I don't want to get you involved because you got that big car coming, that really neat car. We got the big O from 2 to 4, universally reviled according to your emails. I don't know why. What did he ever do to you guys? Mad Dog at Shula's 4 to 7. Dolphin Tonight 7 to 8, the worst infomercial in the history of radio. And then 8 to midnight DA, 8 to 11. Now, what's the story? Is he sticking around for like $5 an hour? What's the deal?
I don't know.
Well, next time you have a big powwow with Jolly Joe, get the lowdown.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
They're funky. They're old. They're the California prunes.
Well, then you're getting old and gray, and you're constipated every day. You want some relief, and that's for sure. And so for you, we got the cure. Just eat some of us, eat us every day, and then flush your cramps away. Don't you know that they're wrinkled and they're tasty? Madame Musil is so pasty. X-Lax is nice, but it don't work fast. Just eat some prunes, they're a real blast. On the party, yeah.
On the party, if you eat us, you're a smarty pants.
California prunes. What a way to go.
It's 11:01 at 560 WQM. The swill continues on the emails. Keep it up. Keep it coming. The negativity, the hostility. See, they accuse me of all of that. In the meantime, that's mostly what I get from down here. Yeah. For example, the same one that sent me before about you're out of time and all the notes and all that other crap. He follows up with this. Let me guess. At one, and the subject, it says stale. Because someone is sitting there with a gun pointed at his head, forcing him to listen to this stale show on this stale station in this stale town. Let me guess, at 1:57 p.m., you're going to play It Stinks in Miami Town. How many centuries have you been playing the same swill over and over again? I'll tell you what, I won't make you wait till then. I'll play it for you now.
It stinks in Miami Town.
There you go.
At 560 WQAM.
But anyway, Pontiff Six of Health, whatever this phony email is, says, Boca should change it to It Stinks in Miami of Stale Radio at 560 WQAM. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm playing out of touch. You can do a talk-up. Might as well do this, you know. This is instrumental, so we could possibly actually play this.
Oh, great.
You know?
Let's just keep that on the whole thing instead of It Stinks in Miami Town. Let me guess. At 1:57, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. That's right. And at 11:03, I'm going to say, hello. Thanks for listening. Okay, that's enough of that crap.
I'll say.
Here's one from Michael about Hurricane basketball. And you know something? You're right. There is nothing here except complaints and critiques. Nothing. Yep. Michael says it wasn't bad enough to have to listen to Joe Z doing the broadcast of the game last night. He had to listen.
Yeah.
But when I was channel surfing, it got to 6:40 a.m. The same game was on with different, only slightly better announcers. Double Hurricanes. Ralph, he said. How do you like that? He had to listen to Joe Z. Biggest bunch of losers on the face of the earth in South Florida. It's just terrifying. And here's Andrew is back again, which is fine. You keep coming back over and over again today because this week and for the next 5 years, it's going to be slim and grim, especially without those great calls. Oh, yeah. Let me take a look on there. Oh, there is one on there. You want to take it? I'm not.
I don't see it.
Line 2. Oh, that's right. You can't see the phone. Hey, you better just quit complaining about all the cutbacks now, okay?
I'm not. I mean,
Good.
I could see it if I wanted to. You know, I could minimize this.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
now, you finally got those spots playing. That's the only thing that's important on this radio station. Get the spots on any radio station.
That's right.
Not whether we have a big audience, whether we're entertaining anybody, whether we have great ratings, anything. Just get the spots on, baby. I learned that a long, long time ago, about 100 years ago. So Andrew comes back at you and says, okay, I got it. The show is free, and I do try to hit the volume off button and stuff. But believe me, after the millionth Red Defender or McGruff the Crime Dog does Joyce Behar commercial, it's beyond old. I suffer for you, though, says Andrew. And finally, I started calling myself the other Andrew due to the fact that you've been ripping the sales hole Andrew for the past month. I don't want the audience to get confused. Oh, woo! I'll tell you one thing, when the emailers start getting egos, then you know there is no hope for the subhuman race. Am I right?
I don't blame him.
You don't blame him for what?
Not wanting to be confused with that other Andrew.
Oh. Well, first of all, the other Andrew wouldn't have any idea how to send us an email, much less have anything to say. Much less to have any idea what time the show is on. Okay, here we go. More inside from across the street from 790. This is good. This is what they want to hear. And Pooh Bear, or whatever your name is, go away. I haven't clicked on it yet, but all he's going to do is say F you.
Pooh Bear?
No, he doesn't use an F-bomb here.
I see.
Joe the Queen Bell is one of the 3 most useless people in the free world, next to W. and Cheney. God save the Queen, says Pooh Bear. That's the cleanest email he's ever sent.
Wow.
I mean, I don't mind an F-bomb here and there, but basically that's the only reason he emails me. Is to say F this one and F that one. Okay. Yeah, as an email, it's the F-bomb. Ray changes at 790 the ticket, it says, from somebody with a phone. Just got a phone number. And why does the phone number have like 400 digits?
I don't know.
Well, you're supposed to be the expert.
Maybe it's
on
an
crap.
international phone number.
No, it is not.
Maybe it's from Uranus.
No, I pulled it out of my printer.
Oh.
K-Raj was canned over money and not the fact that he got trounced by Neil on a daily basis in the ratings. Of course, they could have used him elsewhere. They were brave or smart enough to put an end to the joke of an experiment, Los Dos Tontos, but can't afford to keep a good and quality voice like Kevin Rogers. I bet you this is from Kevin Rogers. That's why 790 does not get enough respect, but is seen as a frat house rather than a radio station. It's seen as an industry joke, just like we are now, too. We didn't used to be. Now we all are, all these sports frat houses. Only Le Batard or perhaps Rosenschmitz can beat that boring old fruit who long ago spoiled and went stale. I wonder if George and his magically dull solo... Oh, this is the same guy again with a phone number now.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if George and his magically dull solo shows, especially the ones with that oh-so-less-than-mediocre corpse suds, has ever beaten Sedano. It's a sad commentary when a show done part-time by a senior citizen in Canada who on a daily basis recycles everything he's ever done beats anyone ever. I guess people are simpletons who prefer listening to someone drone endlessly on over a meaningless poll or to hear sad, lonely losers call a show to make some unintelligible sound only to be hung up on. How do you like that? This is Kenny Rogers. Kevin, whatever his name is, Kevin Rogers. Let me tell you again about seeing Kenny Rogers sitting across from me at the table at Pompano Park that night many years ago. One of the lowlights of my life. He was quiet. He didn't make a scene, didn't make a lot of noise.
No, he didn't sing?
Like Pete Rose, he didn't stack a whole bunch of $100 bills on the table and watch them magically disappear. Bill says, I finally got my visa for Canada. Toronto, here we come. I can't wait to get out of this hellhole they call paradise. My stay in South Florida has been like a life sentence. Finally, we are free, says Bill. How do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, stay the hell out of here, Bill. We got more than enough. We got 5 million people running around here already. 654 votes on your poll about your future. You can't complain about George's future because...
Yeah?
He doesn't have one. Well, no, you have some. I mean, we all have some future.
Just don't know what it is.
That's right. Burris was turned away at the U.S. Capitol.
And kind of, behind the scenes motivation.
There he goes, off in the snow and the cold.
He has been very adamant that his only motivation
They chased his ass away. He's going to consult with his attorneys.
He believes that it is his right and his duty and his obligation. But there's no
they
question
said, Senator, my ass.
It's because of the fact that he knew the outcome. His associates knew the outcome. They knew already yesterday the Secretary of the Senate rejected his bid to be seated. So this was something that they were doing for public consumption.
Now, you think he's going to turn it into a racial thing? You think that always seems to happen?
I don't know.
And you don't care. You sound
That might have been the rationale for the pick in the first place,
It's the black seat.
Is it?
Well, there was only one black in the whole Senate, and that was Obama. Oh, what?
I said, oh-ah.
Ooh-ah, hoo-ha?
Hoo-ah.
That's what George says.
Hoo-ah!
So we're basically down to 4 callers and 3 or 4 emailers. We got the fake Barry Jackass. Right. We got Andrew, not Andrew from sales. And then we got this new creep. Who's, I'm sure, not a new creep, just an old creep with a new name.
Right.
With 2 new names today. With a phone number that's got 75 digits in it.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who he'll be tomorrow.
Kevin Rogers. It's amazing you beat anybody, you old turd. It's amazing that anybody listens at all, between the signal and between the limitations put on what the hell we can do on the show and between the fact that this station is vanishing from your radio dial. It's a miracle. Didn't get any further response from your friend Jolly Joe Bell about his pathetic attempts at humor.
No.
No, he's a sadistic bastard, so he takes joy in making other people miserable. Just like the thing about no food in there. I mean, what kind of a bastard would ever, at any station we've ever worked. I know we had the Boyd Gary business with no food in the studio. Wasn't that Boyd Gary?
Yes, it was.
But you saw how long that lasted.
Sure.
And then that wasn't because of plugs on the air or stuff like that. That was just because everybody was all uppity about the equipment and about, this and that. Right?
Right.
Oh, you're going to spill that. I remember somebody spilled a whole 2-liter bottle of soda into the board in the control room. Who was that?
That was Steve Spurrier, not to be confused with Steve Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier?
Steve Spurrier. Right. Teddy
Who is
Ruxpin, we
that?
called him. He wore a funny hat. You used to make fun of him all the time. Steve Nosering, you called him, because he had a nose ring.
Really?
Yes.
Boy, you got a better memory for those people than I do.
Well, I worked with him, you know. He
Just
was
like
the,
Kenny Grammer. Kenny Grammer's also AWOL. He isn't involved with us anymore.
Kenny.
What?
And Steve was the producer of the Aaron Summers show.
Oh, well, that says it all.
The biggest
She
name.
had a great ass, though. Not as great as Anita Marks, but a great ass.
QAM.
The sports leader.
And read the mumda.
Everybody loves Dr. Seuss's classic tale about the Grinch. But what about the chosen people? Don't they deserve their own holiday special, too? NBC thinks so. Tune in tonight for How the Grinch Stole Hanukkah.
The Who's called a rabbi who wore shiny loafers to bless the roast beast and ensure it was kosher.
How the Grinch Stole Hanukkah. Finally, a version of the holiday classic that knows from Hanukkah.
He snuck past Cindy Lou Who as she slept in her cradle and snatched up her Oyambe spun doodle dreidel.
How the Grinch Stole Hanukkah. Joel Siegel raves, for this you shouldn't stay home. Enjoy. What? You got something better to do?
It came without latkes. It came without horrors. It came without star-spangled Moogle menorahs.
How the Grinch Stole Hanukkah. It's 8 days of fun packed into one great half hour.
And the Who's asked the Grinch, and he said, without fail, I can get you all Hanukkah, and I can get it wholesale.
How the Grinch Stole Hanukkah, tonight on NBC. Oi! Every show should be this good.
11:17 at 560 WQAM. Nothing like a bunch of goyim trying to do funny Jewish stuff, you know?
Hey, how do you know that guy wasn't Jewish?
He threw in a fake oi.
Oh, I see.
As opposed to a real...
Oi!
See, like that, that's Mitch Lewis. That's a real Jew for you. Here's one of the best emails of all time, short and sweet. It says, Good morning, Neil. When you have the fan forum over at your house, I'd like to request a kosher meal. Is that cute or what?
Yeah, it is.
That was very cute. That was the only, I'm trying to think if there was any other one. Well, of course, Barry Jackass thinks he's being really productive with all of his spy reports about Bubba the Love Sponge and Sirius and all this other. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. Because very few people have Sirius XM, and even the people who do, most of them don't listen to Bubba anyway. Oh, here we go. Well, since I'm on a roll, a Kaiser roll, it says, I know you have the news on the economy taking a major dump this morning. It says, I know you have the news on, but the economy is taking a major dump this morning. 1, Merkel. Germany's Warren Buffett did the next best thing to jumping off the Empire State Building, decided to step in front of a train. He's tiny bit dead right now. 2. Yeah, he's a little dead.
Cute.
2, pending home sales plunged to a record low. 3, factory orders plunged in December, twice the expected rate, and the Dow is beginning a tumble down. A tumble down. Let me turn on the gambling channel. I don't think Maria B. is going to be too pleased with this email. The Dow is up 15 points. The Dow is up 14 points.
Woo!
But the good news is that NBC told Ann Coulter-Geist to take her Adam's apple and shove it. Yeah, we know that. Oh, this is Andrew again. Oh, go away, Andrew. He's on a roll. Good God. And Kenny Grammer is back. What did I tell you? He said you should have seen the look on Steve's face when he spilled the soda. And the Dow's back up 17 points. This crap, the sky is falling. Andrew, get a life. Kenny says that was funny, although Mitch wasn't too pleased. Mitch Weenie, I'm sure he's talking about. And it happened months before they gave him the full-time gig producing Aaron's show. Remember Rick Riley's nephew worked the board for a while? He was kind of clueless, too, it says. I don't remember that, do you? Rick Riley's nephew worked the board?
I don't remember that.
Well, you guys sure remember a lot of very obscure things and obscure people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I met Rick Riley's nephew, he was not introduced to me as such. So
you wouldn't know who he was.
Right.
Sounds like nepotism to me.
Oh, yeah. In radio?
It's like Bob Gordon's kid getting hired as board op at WNWS. Got canned within the first couple days, I think, which is a shame because he was a really fine-looking young man, but he was an idiot. I forget what he did. Something similar, you know, with the equipment peeing in the board or something like that. Not good. 679 votes on your poll. We're starting to get a few, although Andrew is becoming chronic. Isn't this sad? The emails are just like the phones. These people can say anything in the world, anything, and they have nothing to say. Just like the phone. And you predicted that, didn't you?
Yep.
You said it's the same people.
It's the same people, right. It's just a different medium.
Well, that's pretty sad. I'm almost, instead of reading these 75 stories about Israel butchering the Palestinians, I'm almost tempted to spin some wax. Ooh. Save my throat for tomorrow.
Some hot wax.
Save my throat for tomorrow, but I better not do that because that would be too much like mailing it in Pony Express. I'd rather mail it in first class. Max Blumenthal on the Smirking Chimp says, why aren't more Americans dancing to Israel's tune? How long is this? Am I going to have time to do this before the break? Oh, yeah. Almost as soon as the first Israeli missile struck the Gaza Strip, a veteran cheering squad suited up to support the home team. Israel is so scrupulous about civilian life, Charles Krauthammer claimed in the Washington Post. Echoing Krauthammer, Alan Dershowitz called the Israeli attack on Gaza perfectly proportionate. And in the New York Times, Israeli historian Benny Morris described his country's airstrikes as highly efficient. While the cheerleaders testified of the superior moral fiber of their team, the Palestinian civilian death toll mounted. Israeli missiles tore at least 15 Palestinian police cadets to shreds at a graduation ceremony, blew 12 worshippers to pieces, including 6 children, while they left evening prayers at a mosque, flattened the elite American International School, killed 5 sisters while they slept in their beds, and liquidated 9 women and children in order to kill a single Hamas leader. So far, Israeli forces have killed at least 500 Gazans, it's up to 600 plus now, and wounded some 2,000, including hundreds of children. Over the weekend, the IDF blanketed parts of Gaza with white phosphorus, a chemical weapon Saddam Hussein once deployed against Kurdish rebels. It was Israel at its best, Yossi Klein Halevi declared in the New Republic. By New Year's Day, Israel's cheering squad had turned the opinion pages of major American newspapers into their own personal romper room. Of all the editorial contributions published by the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times since the Israel's war on Gaza began, to my knowledge, only one offered a skeptical view of the assault. But that editorial by Israeli novelist David Grossman contained not a single word about the Palestinian casualties of IDF attacks. Even while calling for a ceasefire, Grossman promised, we can always start shooting again. Israeli public relations agents fanned out to broadcast studios from the U.S. to Europe, fulfilling an aggressive strategy conceived after the country's catastrophic 2006 attack on Lesbianon. An analysis by Israel's foreign ministry of 8 hours of coverage across international broadcast media concluded that Israeli representatives received a whopping 58 minutes of airtime compared to only 19 minutes for Palestinians. Quite a few outlets are very favorable to Israel, namely by showing its suffering. I'm sure it's a result of the new coordination, said Major Avital Leibovich, an IDF spokesperson who's become a fixture on cable news in the past weeks. But while Israel's PR machine cranked its mighty Wurlitzer to full blast, drowning out all opposing voices with its droning sound, a surprisingly substantial portion of the American public decided to dance to its own tune. According to a December 31st Rasmussen poll, so far the only measure of U.S. opinion on the Gaza assault, while Americans remained overwhelmingly supportive of Israel, they were split almost evenly on the question of whether Israel should attack Gaza, 44% in favor and 41% against it. The internals are even more remarkable. While Republicans are supported the assault on Gaza by a large margin, a predictable finding, only 31% of Democrats did. Members of the Democratic base thus stood in sharp contrast to most of their elected representatives. Freshman Representative Donna Edwards is a notable exception, who backed the latest Israeli assault in lockstep and seemed to support Israel no matter what it does. The rift between the progressive base and the party played out on Barack Obama's Change.gov site, which was deluged in recent days with demands for a statement condemning Israel's assault on Gaza. So what accounts for the surprising trend in American opinion on Gaza? The proliferation of progressive online media and social networking sites could be a factor, but I have another theory. The same pundits who are cheerleading Israel's assault on Gaza once sold the occupation of Iraq to America, and with a nearly identical set of arguments. In their voices and those of the grim Israeli PR agents carted out for cable news, many Americans hear echoes of the Bush administration's most fantastic lies. When they see images of Gazans under withering bombardment, they flash back to Fallujah and the assorted horrors of Iraq. When they look at Israel, they see themselves during the darkest days of the Bush era. Now, an increasing share of Americans know what Israel is doing to Gaza, and they reject it even when Israel is at its so-called best. Says your close personal friend, Max Blumenthal.
What are you trying to prove?
I wonder if he wants a kosher meal at our meeting.
I'll start taking orders.
When we have our seminar? Just check the emails. Checking it out. Nothing there. Rich Tender's son, though, that was a good one. 686 on George's poll. And the conclusion is your future is mighty grim.
Biggest names.
The best.
Joe Bell likes you, though.
This is Neil Rogers.
Bang you in the butt, honey.
Talk about stale, man. That production, oh my God. Last year's Matzah is doing better.
Debt is all around me. Everybody's broke. The economy is drowning. They got us by the throat. I'd like to do some driving, but can't afford to go. For the world's richest country, this depression blows. After 9/11, the stage was set for the neocons to grab all they could get. They trickled it up to the 1%, raped us all, and left us for dead. Could this be a recession? The headlines spoiling news. There's people going hungry. You won't see that on the news. It's like the 1930s, another grapes of wrath, where just the rich and dirty can afford to buy gas. The corporate newspapers say it will end. The ones that I use for the sheets on my bed. You patriotically left them in control. They robbed us blind, now we battered us cold. We're in a deep depression, but they don't want you to know. For the world's richest country, this depression blows.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this depression blows. This depression blows.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The sun is shining here. It looks like a beautiful day sitting inside looking out. It's going to snow like hell tonight, though.
All right.
Well, listen, it's a little variety, you know, not just the same like those 5 beautiful days when I was down there.
Mm-hmm.
Weather was great. No complaints. Weather was sensational. I got sick as a dog, you know. I think it's my South Florida allergies.
Might be.
I'm allergic to it. You're not going to believe this next email, which I'm not going to read in its entirety, and you'll immediately understand why.
Okay.
Free plug, please.
Okay.
This just leaves me almost speechless. Just takes my breath away. If you're having a problem with your parking lot drains or sewer pump station...
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Or maybe your grease trap is backed up.
Oh, how did he know?
Are you backed up?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Give us a call at... with a phone number where your poop is our pleasure. Mention the Neil Rogers Show and get a 10% discount. Mention the Neil Rogers Show and get a 10% discount. Yada, 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 with the company name, serving South Florida's water, wastewater, and drainage needs since 1970. Even the poop people are pooped out. They're having problems. They're off
That's great.
And trying to use me in this show for a free plug. Buy some spots, okay, Joe? Buy a spot or two. We don't give free commercials on this show. Schmuck. How do you like that? Doesn't it leave you like...
it doesn't surprise me at all.
Although at least it wasn't a complaint or a critique, I'll say that.
One in a row.
Yeah. No, that's the guy also who said he wanted the kosher meal. That was good.
Yes, it was.
Steven sends me a link of Richard Pryor and George Carlin debating the N-word. A link. What am I supposed to do with it? Where am I supposed to shove that? Here we go. Here we go. You won't have the guts to read this. This is probably from Andrew. Remember when I said enough already?
Yeah.
Because these people, what they want to do, as soon as I give them a little attention, they want to turn the whole show into me and them.
Right?
They want to be the centerpiece of the show. Doesn't work that way. Am I right?
Oh, come on. Make them the centerpiece of the show.
I'll grab it off the machine here. It says you won't have the guts to read this on the air because it's the truth. All you do is bitch and moan and beg for emails, but when they come in, you tell everyone to stop emailing. Bah, bah. You have no material to help mail it in, so you beg and plead for the listeners to give you material, and then you rag on them? You, sir, are an idiot. The show is old, you're old, and it sucks. I say it's time to give George the spotlight. I can't remember the last time I was entertained in this time slot as much as I was on when George was on last week. Take my advice. You're going to pretend to hand the show over to George right now and leave, and he's going to play that crazy weird Indian music for a second, and then you'll come back. No, really leave and let George take over already. Bah! How do you like that? That's got to be Andrew.
It must be.
Because he's the only one that has said stop with so many of the emails.
Right.
Too much.
I still won't go out with him.
Too much. What?
I said I still won't go out with him.
He likes you.
Well, at least somebody does.
He peed on your leg.
It was warm.
He wants you to take over the show. In fact, you can have it right now. I got a couple of errands I got to run.
I need to change my sock.
Why?
Because he peed on my leg.
Oh. Well, save it. It might be your lucky sock.
I'll make a puppet out of it.
Here's one from Juan, who's an occasional emailer, not a lunatic, doesn't want to be the centerpiece of the show. Doesn't know the difference between sending a couple of emails and just sitting there over and over and back and forth and back and forth. That was you, Andrew, guaranteed. Loser. I asked Tom Jerka what once happened to Sandy Payton in this market, or any market, out of curiosity. He reacted as if I kicked his dog and stole his slice of pizza. Is there something I don't know? Did he have a bad thing or some sort of a thing with Miss Sugar Cookie? Jerka jicka, loudmouth jerk, it says. How do you like that? I don't know. He used to be on her show a lot. I know that. And you want to know why? Because he used to be on my show a lot as a guest.
Right.
She had a habit of doing that. She would steal my guests, Sandy.
Like right in the middle of the show?
Yeah, right in the middle of the show. They go, I got to go do the Sandy Payton show. And they would just disappear like that. She was just pathetic.
610 WIOD, South Florida's information and sports authority.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm Sandy Payton, and we are delighted to have in the studio this morning the #1 radio broadcaster in the country.
Oh! How do you like that?
Have a nice day.
Oh. And then the thing she said to Ann Bishop that got everybody suspicious was...
I would love to keep you all to myself.
And I think she still got the body. She's got her locked away in a vault somewhere. Maybe she's got Ann's body in the basement.
Ooh.
You think?
Ought to be getting right.
Because that's what Sandy once told Ranieri. And boy, he hated her like poison.
I heard that story.
Yeah. And he used to have to do those crossovers with her, you know, and...
It puts the lotion in the basket.
He despised her like poison. In fact, everybody in the building hated her except for your friend Cheryl. Because they shared that jappiness factor together, you know.
I see.
Yeah.
It's like another kind of fraternity, a sorority, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, a free spot from a plumber named Joe. I wonder where Joe the plumber had gone to, how the mighty have fallen, it says. Joe the plumber. You think there's a tie in there? I don't think so. This was a real guy with a real name. Oh, here we go. This is the same one that we had before. The same email exactly that we had before. This one from the fake Paul Castronova, but the same content. About K-Raj and yada, 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 and et cetera and so on.
Told you it was the same person.
What do you mean by that?
Writing half of those things.
Yeah, I think there are only like 2 or 3 people that write all the emails. Maybe one of them is sick today.
Well, they better step up.
Pollution Elimination Corporation. I think I also got an email from them on the MySpace. Where, not an email, a notification. They don't do emails anymore. They do notifications now. What is that supposed to mean?
It's a different. They just broke it down. Like, in other words, in your inbox just goes the things that people send you, like correspondence, and then if somebody wants to post a comment, for example,
This is the same one we had before that goes on about it's a sad commentary when a show done part-time by a senior citizen in Canada beats anyone. It said same old crap, only this is now from the fake Paul Castronova subject, Old Fruit. That's me. I'm your old fruit. Eat your heart out, Paulie.
Oh, God. 610 WIOD, South Florida's information and sports authority.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm Sandy
Alice
Payton, and we are
wanted me to
delighted
play
to
this.
have in the
That's
studio
Ron
this
St.
morning
John,
the
and he
number
opens
one
Ron
radio
St. John.
broadcaster in the country.
Oh!
You've seen him on Channel 7 News, first as a two-bit reporter, now as a two-bit anchor that wears more makeup than Tammy Faye Baker and Mary Kay combined. Rick Sanchez sings. Hear the dulcet tones of the man who brought you Crime Check, Rick Sanchez.
La cucaracha, ya putting every night, putting it
Rick Sanchez. Rick Sanchez sings.
Give me a home with a
Don't miss Rick Sanchez in his pasty-faced tour over Hialeah. It's one show you won't want to miss. Steak for a good one. Rick Sanchez, he loves his audience.
I accept you as a precious gift from God.
Oh, God. 11:45 at 560 WQM, your used to be great radio station. We used to kick ass here, baby. We used to have a signal that you could hear, like, even across the street.
Really?
Even like at the place where, what's her name, got the waxy wax at Brooke Daniels. Remember she got it waxed across the street?
Oh, yeah.
Matt in Miami. Oh, yeah, I blocked him because he's annoying. And this email should bear it out. More advice. More advice. Oh, Matt in Miami is the one who loves the callers. Remember him?
Right.
Welcome back. I hope your vacation was great. Mine sure was. Well, good for you, Matt. I'm listening to your show, and I couldn't believe I heard you say you wouldn't be taking very many phone calls over the next 5 years. Maybe none, Matt. There are a few good callers, and the rest are worthless. You sound a bit aggravated today. It's all good. Don't sweat the small stuff. LOL. It's all good. Well, what does that mean, it's all good?
It's all good, you know. It is what it is.
I'm not the least bit aggravated. I don't know what the hell Matt's talking about. Do I sound aggravated to you?
No, not to me.
No. I don't sound aggravated to me either.
You sound faggravated.
Yeah, I am faggravated. Not too aggravated, Matt. Sorry, even reading your stupid-ass email about the callers. Oh, there's a few good callers. Well, let us know what year they're going to call in. Send us a telegram and let us know when those people are going to call in.
We'll make appointments for them.
Here's one from the fake Jim Sarney. What I hear. There's one line in here I had to cross out, but it's pretty. Maybe I ought to email this to you. You want to see it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Neil, you're wrong about one thing. Joe and his gang of know-nothings aren't trying to destroy your show. They're trying to destroy a radio station. Well, hell of a job, Jolly Joe. You're doing it. From what I hear from the people inside that building, they're doing things never seen in this industry before. And then there's a line in here I'm not going to read because they would go ballistic. Good luck. Off to my daily routine of online betting on horses and fiber shakes from the fake Jim Sarney. Thanks, fake Jim. Betting on horses and fiber shakes.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah. It'll keep you regular, I'll tell you that.
Rectum.
Oh, yeah. Got to wear your Depends. Wouldn't that be a great place? That would not be a good place to get the squirts at the track.
How about anywhere?
They have a lot of good public tea rooms there. You know, go change your underwear.
I was going to say.
Throw them away.
I don't know what the bathrooms are like at the tracks there.
Wipe, and leave your underwear there right next to the bowl for the next person to really enjoy. I've done it.
Yeah?
Yeah. When you have one of those ass accidents.
An accident?
That's correct. Well, here's Alice Rantel back again. Thanks, Neil. That did it for me. Yeah, the sound of Ron St. John's voice did it for Alice. He was sitting back envisioning Sean Cassidy and getting off on the sound of Ron St. John's voice.
Ooh.
What?
Nothing. What an image.
Oh, here's more Bubba the Love Sponge crap. And if you're wondering why I'm reading this, even though I know that most people don't care about it, it's because that's all I'm getting, you know? One thing about the emails, what we get, that's what I read. 99% of it. It has to be really, really, or it has to be like pictures. Like one of the regulars sent me a picture, old picture of Johnny and Mac by the railroad track, or what's left of it.
I see.
Isn't that pretty interesting? Here, I'm going to hold it up. All you people can take a look at it while I'm printing out this next email.
Look at that.
Isn't that impressive? Oh, and I didn't send you that email from Jim Sarney.
No rush.
No, I think you want to see it. Oh, I already deleted it.
It's in your
Didn't
trash. If you
What?
did. It's in your trash if you did.
No, because I deleted the trash.
I don't know why you do both of those things.
Why not? Because I don't want to have a whole pile of these
doesn't matter.
piled
It's
up
not.
there.
It's not there. It's there, but it's not there. It's digital, man. Not taking up any space.
What are you talking about?
The old emails, just leave them in there. If it's anything marginally interesting, just don't delete it.
Leave them in there?
Leave them in there forever. You never know when you might want to refer back to some old email sometime.
Why?
You never know.
Oh,
It's
okay.
happened. It happens.
I could fax you that thing. It's not that important.
Don't worry about it,
Because
yeah.
I crossed the line out, but you could still read it.
Tell me all about it
We'll
tomorrow.
discuss it before the show tomorrow
That's
morning.
right.
Give you something to look forward to.
There's one thing.
It's something pretty provocative, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Here's a long email from the Phantom Informer. Subject, internal Clear Channel memo from Chris Kampmeyer. Wow. Hi, all. As many of you already know, Bubba the Love Sponge is expected to bring a syndicated morning show to WHTQ beginning January 5. This represents a significant change in the makeup of the market and may, in time, impact a number of stations, including some of ours. His history in the Orlando market is very thin. 1, he did nights on XL many, many years ago. 2, he was on JRR for 8-9 months 5 years ago. 3, he's been heard on Sirius the past few years. He'll be starting out with a tiny audience, and you have an important role to play in keeping it tiny. His standard ploy is to talk about other stations and personalities and sucker them into talking about him on their shows and websites. This is how he builds interest in awareness for his show, his number one priority early in the game. We will not be playing this game, and we will not be helping him by telling our listeners about his show. We will be waging war in a number of off-air ways, employing many of the tactics that helped JRR demolish O-Rock. Please follow these guidelines precisely and at all times, and unless you're directed differently. 1, there is to be no mention of Bubba the Love Sponge and or any other changes at HTQ in any of your on-air content, live or produced. 2, same goes for your website and your personality pages. 3, do not respond to any press inquiries regarding Bubba the Love Sponge and or changes at HTQ without permission and direction from your PD or me or Linda. I wonder if that's Linda Energy. Remember that song by Jan and Dean? Linda. Remember that?
Yep.
Could they sing or what? Could they bell out a tenth of an ounce of sound? 4, this email is private and confidential communication between your employer and you. I expect it to stay private. No radio info, no Scott Maxwell, no sharing with former employees who now work for the competition. This email is part of our war tactics and should be shared with no one outside your team. 5, do not be a sucker. Let me know if you have any questions, and let's show Bubba and HTQ how good our stations are at waging war and satisfying our listeners, says Chris at Cheap Channel. How do you like that internal memo that nobody's supposed to have? From the Phantom Informer, no less. See, it goes to show you if you go through. It's like the calls. If you go through about 5,000 of them, you might get one that might be worthwhile. And obviously that's why Bubba started out in the market yesterday talking about everybody in this market and, peeing on my leg. So thinking that would get me to talk about him. He can pee all he wants. I'm not impressed. Only reason I'm talking to him is because he and the fake Barry Jackass, probably the same person, are sending me these emails. Right?
Right.
And what do we care? Are we competing with Bubba the Love Sponge on this station? I hardly think so. I hardly think so. From 6 to 10 a.m. We're sports intensive, baby. We're where it's at. We got the balls, man. We got the balls and the pucks. We got the basketballs and the baseballs and the footballs and hockey pucks and schmucks. So we don't give a crap about that part of it. But whatever you do, don't mention Bubba the Love Sponge. How do you like that? From Chris Kampmeyer. Internal Clear Channel memo. I think we just had a big coup here. Coochie coup. Whatever happened to Christian Ashton Coochie coup? Did he disappear?
No, he's still running around. You see him every now and again, yeah.
Maybe he'll be on Deal or No Deal.
What a deal.
That's a lot of money, honey. Take the money. Take the money, bitch. Boy, Mama was she was foaming at the mouth. Mama with a green dress.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see that show. You have to see that episode before you die. I really never watched through a whole show of that before.
No, I never watched a minute of it.
Well, why not? Are you like anti-Semitic? You don't like Howie Mandel?
I
you're
don't
anti-Semitic
dislike
like
him.
Joe
I don't
Bell?
watch a lot of game shows, especially those ones that those evening game shows that just plod, that just take forever, where they ask one question an hour. Like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
By the way, now that Chris Baker got his gig back and he's back to full-time and he's got his benefits and whatever else, so he didn't get screwed after all. What I call him? Chris Baker? Chris Whalen, fat Chris, whatever. You've seen one fat Chris, you've seen them all. Now that took place, that means that I would like you to name me one non-Jew who's gotten the screw from this regime.
I'm thinking.
There was Eddie Kay, there was Hank, there was Ken Malden, there was me.
Allison.
Name me one goy.
Oh, Miguel.
Oh, yeah, but that was in the very beginning. That was for a different reason. That was because he was
and they
show.
replaced him with the Jews, matter of fact. See, so there goes your theory.
Yeah, but they replaced him with a Jew from who was attached to Joe's ass.
See there?
Yeah.
He likes Jew. Very much.
You'll see. Flea's future is not spoken for yet.
Well, he keeps consorting with us, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, like I said, the fact that he even speaks to us, that's not good. Not a good omen in the Joe Bell songbook, trust me.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
Goodbye, IOD. The memories are all that's left of a station that once had fame, and for AM that was quite acclaimed. Cox and Paxson were insane to blow it all, and when they build those condos and block that tower off, you'll be lowered down into your grave.
Absolutely.
And you were great at one time, but now you sound more like a signal drifting in the wind. And you'll never see numbers you can sell again. Yet Clear Channel knows what they're doing, or so they think. But no one's listening anymore, because they really stink. Goodbye, IOD. Let go of Grego. Scoop the pooper and the rest of that retarded team that remains of Paxson's old regime. Clear Channel has a scheme, but it's clear to see that despite all their corporate indignance, they can't hide the fact without Neil they got a crappy deal. And you were great at one time, but now you sound more like a signal drifting in the wind. And you'll never see numbers you can sell again.
Rock solid.
Yet Clear Channel knows what they're doing, or so they think. But no one's listening anymore, because they really stink.
Yeah, but they got Jimmy Syphilitic in the morning, baby. Oh. All right. What more could you want? Oh, now, did you get the fax I just sent you?
No.
It didn't come through yet?
No, wait.
Is it percolating?
It had a jam.
What?
It had a jam.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
It says printing.
Yeah, this is the email from the fake Jim Sarney that you need to see.
Making noises.
Read the sentence where I crossed it out.
Okay.
Don't read it out loud, though. I think you'll get a chuckle out of it. Is it doing anything?
Here it is in my hand.
And?
Wait.
You see that sentence where it's crossed out?
No. This is a different... oh, boy, I'm going to have a backlog of faxes now because of that paper jam.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is to Josh Cordes. Looks really personal.
Well, I just got one from Josh Cordes, the real one. Welcome back, Neil. It's a new year and a new month. Where's my check? Ha, ha, ha. I hope that fat bastard Chris likes getting up at 3 a.m. for work while I'm just getting home from a night of drunken debauchery and cruising A1A. Hugs and kisses to Brandon, says Josh. It's him. It's the real one.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Not. Well, who cares?
Not me.
So what did you just get for the real Josh?
I got spam. Oh, it's some sort of a driver's license thing. We should probably read it on the air, all this private information.
Wow. Why is that?
Just to be bastards.
You mean somebody sent his driver's license information?
I don't know. He's got some thing going on here. I have no idea. Some insurance
stuff. What's going on?
It's insurance stuff.
Well, Schmidt can that or put it over in a pile, okay? So when
Set
he
it
comes
off to the side.
Yeah, that's right. Set it off to the side. Get to the important one.
Here we go.
You got it?
Got it.
Now you're reading that line that's crossed out silently to yourself. I told you. What did I tell you?
Smells good.
Woo!
Wow. Hope they don't burn it.
Tell your fat ass buddy Jolly Joe that if he when he gets you the new car, you'll turn that fax over to him.
Yeah. I just threw it away.
You did?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Okay, I'm going to frame it. Put it up on the wall.
Frame it. Put it up on the wall on the front door downstairs. Put it on the elevator door so everybody can see it. George liked my suggestion, says Shirley, that when you retire, he would go to North Carolina to be a recluse with guns, dogs, and pot.
That's right.
I deeply heard it's not on the poll, says Shirley. Nod. We're going to put that on there?
I sure will.
North Carolina, recluse with guns, dogs, and pot.
I'm actually moving to the Yak to become a recluse. It's much
to
more...
the what?
The Yak Mountain Range in northwestern Montana.
Yak?
Way more reclusive.
Really?
Makes where Ted Kaczynski was living look like Chicago downtown.
Let me just tell the audience right now, George is one of those guys, I've known him a long time, that one day he'll just go off, you know? One of these guys that'll get a shotgun, a whole bunch of ammunition and stuff.
It's funny, all my friends
grenades.
Who've known me for years also say the same thing.
Oh, yeah. One of these days he'll lose it. Because under that mild-mannered exterior...
That's right.
...is a simmering, boiling pot of anger.
Still waters run deep.
That's correct. 739 on the poll. Our goal is whatever we get. We don't do no more goals. Whatever we get, we get. That was all silly. That was all Fat Chris. Here's an email that says, how ironic listening to that bit. What ended up happening was that the huge high-rises were built around the WQAM towers in downtown Miami instead, and now the QAM signal sucks. Meanwhile, WID signal is stronger than ever. How ironic. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Isn't that ironic?
It is.
Oh. I thought maybe you were, like, rereading that email.
In my brain.
Didn't that kind of, like, set you aback?
It's cute. Would it surprise you at all?
No. Nothing in that joint would surprise me. In fact, that first part, the part that I read on the air about stuff going on in that building that's never been seen in the business before, I believe that. I have never, ever seen any management people try so desperately to fail. And I still think that maybe these people are on the payroll across the street or for some other company, because they sure can't be serious, if you pardon that expression.
No pun intended.
Can they? Are they serially trying to promote this place and make this place succeed? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right. You want that car.
That's right.
And it's lunchtime. Jolly Joe's in the car right now, cranking this thing up real, real loud. Oh, gee, I think Neil's going to rip me again. Ho, ho, ho. I love our deal, Neil. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Iggy Pop says, I was looking for an elegant coma. Somebody turned me onto this article from CNN.com. He says he moved to Miami in search of peace and convenience. Oh, this is just great. It's an interview with him. Do you care about Iggy Pop?
No, he's an ass.
Neither does anybody else, but it's just the interview being about Miami. Along with his band, The Stooges, Iggy Pop invented punk rock, and his outrageous onstage antics have inspired countless wannabes. After years in excess, the godfather of punk moved to Miami in search of peace. CNN's travel show, My City, My Life, caught up with him to talk about music inspiration and life in his favorite city, Miami. CNN, what made you move to Miami? Iggy Pop, I was fed up after 25 years in huge, dark, media-centric cities. I decided to find a house and move here. I was looking for something in kind of an elegant coma with a lot of peace and convenience. CNN, is Miami similar to you as a person? He says, Miami is nothing like me, and that's why I need to be here. It's the opposite. I'm practical, whereas this place is moody. I'm stolid, my interior, whereas this place has a certain flair. I'm materialistic, in a sense that this place is fundamentally spiritual. There's a Quicksilver quality about this place. How would you describe Miami's personality? Iggy Pop says, Miami's a hell of a good town to eat a banana. You think that's enough of this?
Yeah, I had enough before you started.
No.
He's an egotistical ass with a couple good songs. He did not invent punk rock.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, Iggy, how you doing out there?
Yeah, it's ponderous. But I thought it would kill some good time, but it would kill some bad time.
Listen. If
What?
you thought we were in the time-killing business before, we're going to
we sure are now.
We're going to slaughter it now.
Get your hogs out, baby. We're going to butcher some hogs. Not quite the way Bubba did on the air over in Tampa. Wasn't that his claim to fame, that they butchered a hog on the air?
Something like that.
He's butchering the Sirius audience now is basically what they're saying. But talk about him a lot. Here's one from... Aida. Remember Aida?
Sure.
Yeah, where the hell has Aida been?
Aida Banana.
Hi, Neil. How's it going? Hola, my spit compadre George. Hope you had a great New Year.
Yo.
You all. It was okay. Sorry to hear you caught a cold when you came down here. It was probably the smoky, germ-infested machines at Hard Rock. Only thing I like about that place are the restaurants and the clubs. The machines don't play Schmidt. They don't pay. But for some reason, my boyfriend loves Wheel of Fortune, I wonder why, and likes to play the quarter Schlotz. Oh, no. Oh, no. They don't have a quarter Wheel of Fortune at Hard Rock, Aida. At least not the real ones. They have those phony ones. I wonder where they got all those hybrid machines, those make-believe ones that are...
I don't know, the hybrid machine store?
No, seriously. I mean, you don't see those like in a real casino. I had the misfortune of watching that pathetic Dolphin game on Sunday up close. Funny thing, at halftime, I went to get a refreshment, noticed a guy in front of me. After every item he ordered would yell, ho, 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 and turn to walk away. I noticed his genitals hanging out. Please, the big old blows, bring back the big bro. At least he had energy coming at you like that. Thanks, Aida. Oh, yeah, he had energy.
Coming at you.
Uh-huh. He
Like
sucked.
that?
He blows. Oh, here's Phil back again. I told you he can't make up his mind whether he wants to be contribute something or just be a pain in the ass and bug me with his sports teams. My team's better than your team. All that stuff just leaves me limp, man. It doesn't impress me. It impresses me that whoever is saying it is an idiot, an overgrown child who belongs in a sandbox, Phil. My team's better than your team. I'm the one who'll tell you that my team sucks. The Leafs blow. They suck. They stink. I told you that before the season started. I'll tell you that right now. But that doesn't make me less of a fan after 50 years. Rangers. Okay, let's see this negatory one from Phil Ark, who, it says, prom is not a complaint or critique. No, just another shtuch. Tonight the Panthers skate against your overrated franchise, the Maple Leafs. The Toronto media killed Brian McCabe mercilessly for a long time, and now that he's gone to the Panthers, he's excelling. I'm not a Panther fan, but follow the sport. I delight in seeing Toronto languish as a franchise. I see they're languishing as a franchise. That why every game is sold out, and that's why they were rated the most valuable team in the NHL. Them and the Rangers. Rangers. In fact, my favorite team is the Montreal Canadiens. Oh, it figures. Frog. Obviously the greatest team in sport next to the Yankees. Wrong. So how do you explain McCabe playing good with the sorry-ass Panthers and not your Maple Leafs? He wasn't good enough for the Leafs, I guess. Overrated. Living on reputation. He was mailing it in, Phil. You know what that's all about.
Biggest names.
The best
Nailing it
talent.
in.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Neil Young.
I used to think that I could not be harmed, that they would keep quiet 'cause I'm a star. And now the years have passed for carping fields. As long as grass is on the playing field, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, then they're mature hips. I'm a big pedophile. I believe I can touch her thigh. You can see it on videotape. Don't care, I'm more than twice her age. And if her parents come home, you see me running through that open door. I'm a big pedophile. I'm a big pedophile. I'm a big pedophile.
1218 at 560 WQAM. Neil at NeilRogers.com. Keep those emails pouring in. They're trickling.
Are they?
I think by tomorrow it'll be like back to normal.
Okay.
You think?
Let's hope.
I'm looking in that Outlook Express right now.
Yo.
See what I got?
Nothing?
Right. 764 on your poll, though, about... And let's see, did you add that one about moving to North Carolina? I moved to Montana and become a recluse. 3.
There you go.
Sorry, Shirley, he wants to move to Montana.
I mean, if it's a fantasy anyway,
With
I might as well
Hannah.
move there.
Here's one from the fake Phil Henry who says, who knew Sirius was going to pay Bubba to repeat his FM show? You think they would have paid us to do the same? I don't know, I'm not on FM. From the fake Phil Henry. Just think that, no, they wouldn't have paid us a dime. Well, we know Neil needs money, and we're fresh out. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We're fresh out. Hell of a job, by the way, Norma. And speaking of Nudniks, Joe is back from a Pollution Elimination Corporation. Second plug, please, it says. Second try, and the answer is still no. It says, you already know when we say, your poop is our pleasure, we mean it. But did you know when you take a dump, we'll come pump? You know who this is from?
No. Who?
Petey Lenny.
Oh.
That last sentence, dead giveaway. Did you know when you take a dump, we'll come pump? Guaranteed from him.
It sounds like his humor.
Yeah. No job is too big, no smell is too bad. So whether it's storm drains, pump stations, grease traps, or some guys pee on your leg like George, we can clean it up. Call so-and-so, ask for Joe, and I don't mean that idiot Joe the plumber. Nice try, Joe, and the answer is still a resounding
no.
No. No chance. Norwegian doctor says Israel is intentionally targeting civilians. This is in the middle of my pile of 8,000 Israel stories.
Yeah.
This one by David Edwards and Stephen Webster. I think I'm going to spin some wax between 1 and 2.
Hot wax?
Yeah. Well, no, because we're obviously not going to have, like, any emails.
I'll start
and we're
making
certainly
some
not
up.
going to take any calls. I'm not going to... The very first day, I know I've done it a million times, I'm not going to go back and... here's this one. It says, can you please stop interrupting the show with all this nonsense? I tune in so I can hear those fascinating, riveting opinion pieces about Israel read by you, waiting all day for them, and now you won't even read them. Oh, this is with the slashes again. This is the same one with a phony phone number. They make me so excited, I can't wait for them. I have no doubt you'll get a 90 share if you read them. There are you're right, there are like 3 people that send all the emails.
Right.
Very sad. Well, he's going to be pleased because I'm going to read a couple now. Or at least one.
Promise.
They're bombing 1.5 million people in a cage, it says. Mads Gilbert, a Norwegian doctor working in Gaza, told Sky News on Monday that he believes Israel is deliberately attacking the Palestinian population, not just targeting Hamas, as Israeli authorities have said numerous times. Just a little bit more than an hour ago, the Israelis bombed the central food market in Gaza City, and we had a mass influx of about 50 injured and between 10 and 15 killed, said Gilbert on the phone with Sky News. At the same time, they bombed an apartment house with children playing on the roof, and we had a lot of children also. This is really like from Dante's Inferno. It's like hell here now, and it's been bombing all night. Up till now, close to 500 people have been killed, and the number of casualties is getting to 2,000 to 2,500, with 50% of which are women and children. Are your hospitals reaching capacity? Asked the Sky News correspondent. Can you deal with these people? We've been doing surgery around the clock, Gilbert replied. I just talked to one of my colleagues in the ICU who hasn't been sleeping for 3 days, and the hospital is completely overcrowded, and we're running 6-7 ORs, and there are injuries you just don't want to see in this world. Children coming in with their abdomens and legs cut off. We just had a child who left. We had to amputate both legs and the arms, and the only crime they've done has been civilians, Palestinians living in Gaza. The relief now is not more doctors and more drugs. The relief now is to stop the bombing immediately. This cannot go on. It's a disaster. You think Joe Bell had a part in it? It's a disaster. You've talked about the civilians, the women and the children, the men who aren't involved in this, but you also are getting casualties that are Hamas fighters, asked the reporter. To be honest, we came on New Year's Eve in the morning, answered Gilbert. I've seen one military person among the tens, hundreds, and we've seen and treated. So anybody who tries to claim this is sort of a clean war against another army are lying. This is an all-out war against the civilian Palestinian population in Gaza, and we can prove that with the numbers, and you have to remember that the average age of the Gaza inhabitant is 17 years. It's a very young population. 80% are living below the poverty limit of the UN. So this is a poor and very young people. They're able to escape absolutely to nowhere because they can't flee like other populations can in wartime because they're fenced in and they're in a cage. So they're bombing 1.5 million people in a cage, and young people and poor people, and you can't separate between the civilians and fighters in such a situation.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah. The Jews and the Arabs, baby. The Arabs and the Jews. Jimmy
they
and
shouldn't
Danny.
have attacked those people.
Danny and Jimmy. They shouldn't have started throwing them stones.
Jimmy and Danny.
Danny and Jimmy. 766 on your world-famous poll about your future. And anybody who's working for this company, for Beasley, anybody thinking about a future, forget about it. The sports leader.
Oh, God. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up to the carnival of crime and feast your eyes on the traveling neocons. Test your throwing skills and dunk the pathetic mongoloid. Throw your shoes. Throw a pie. Throw monkey dung. Dunk the national idiot until he tells you everything he knows, which won't take long at all.
So what if the guy threw a shoe at me?
Here, my friends, we have Cheney the soothsayer, who can predict your fate with one glance into his tiny balls.
I can see your family. They will die, if you will.
There's only so much time left to bid adieu. Don't miss the traveling neocons, hopefully appearing in a federal penitentiary soon.
You fairy.
1229. Don't forget when Jeb Bush runs for the Senate. PNAC, Project for the New American Century.
Yeah.
He's one of the movers and shakers. He's a neocon specialist. They just can't wait to get his ass back in there. No more Bush. Of course, the Democrats will put somebody, some lame ass up against.
Oh, yeah.
Some mugwump. Okay, we got a few emails here. Jimmy says, I made the mistake of tuning into Howard Stern this morning. When several callers complained about Bubba's show, Howard couldn't have cared less. When told that paying subscribers were now getting 4 days of nothing but Bubba's terrestrial show replay and only 1 day of live uncensored content, Howard suggested that Bubba's fans get over it and get a life. After nearly 3 decades of fighting censorship, Howard now fully endorses ripping off customers who thought they were getting better content. I better go get some more cough drops in the other room.
Okay.
Okay, what? Well, I can't wait till the break, can it?
Okay, I hope so.
No, I better go get them now. I'm serious. Okay, I'm back. But now I got to take cough drop. I thought you'd play more music.
Oh.
There you go.
Remember
okay,
that,
I got it in my mouth now.
Remember that email I said, don't you?
About what?
Oh, I don't know. You're out of
Being
touch.
out of
See,
touch?
that was
Oh, yeah. Yeah, touch this.
That?
Anyway, his replays of old shows from terrestrial on Sirius were insulting enough. But now he seems to be just fine with giving subscribers free watered-down radio for $13 a month. He even had the nerve to say, the stock is 12 cents. What do you want from us? And you're only paying 43 cents a day. Get over it. At this rate, soon no one on Howard's channels will do a live show. They'll just put a box of cat turds in front of a microphone and occasionally play a few fart noises. Howard, please die in a fire, you thieving hack bastard. Well, Jimmy's a little bit P.O.
A little bit.
It's called the old bait and swish, baby. Rick says, Rick in Deerfield Beach. Just heard a few minutes ago crying you weren't getting any emails. Here is one. Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you, Rick. See? Somebody nice guy. Not exciting or like take very much time, but nevertheless. If we had 50,000 of those, then it would, kill all the time till 2 o'clock. We're in the time-killing business. We're here to kill 4 hours in the middle of the day, every day, for the last 100 years. And still doing it, in spite of all the odds, man. Kevin says, seems to me the only thing different between the Israeli-Hamas conflict, which leads to the casualties, is that Israel rockets hit what they're aiming at most of the time. Yeah. So I guess, does that make it kosher?
I guess so.
That they got better aim? And they're not just lobbing those primitive rockets across the border?
Right.
Uh-huh. And most of which land in the middle of the desert and don't hit anything? Let me say it again. It's stones against bombs. Not that I have any love for the Hamas or any of the militant lunatics, but the fact of the matter is they're killing all these innocent people. Oh, well, don't confuse the facts. Here's one that'll give you a real laugh.
All right.
Subject, it's only theater. Hello, Uncle Neil. Oh, from Steve Kane, allegedly. You believe it?
No.
Oh. I'm planning to do it. Would you ever believe any email I got was real from anybody?
No.
How about if I got it from you?
No.
You sent me one this morning that was some pretty funny crap. In fact,
fake.
did Eric put that on our website?
I don't know. Let me check.
It's about a guy who's doing a religious talk show?
Yeah, cable access religious talk show.
Right. And he's got a guy on the phone who's like swearing and blurting and
calling him a fag, red-shirted faggot.
Fag this and fag that. And he can't get rid of the guy. He can't get the guy off the phone. He keeps hitting the phone buttons and taking the phone apart, and he just can't get the guy off the air. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, hello, Uncle Neil. I'm planning to do a show on you. My producer and I have secured Gilbert, the Jamba guy, as well as many others for a roundtable discussion. Great. If you care to call in, or better yet attend, I and Brian will make all arrangements for you. I have also spoken to Mr. Kent regarding the show idea. Best of the new year. Yeah, you too, Mr. Invisible. Too bad it's not from the real Steve-O. It could be. But you say no.
No.
Well, that's a shame. Because that was my last emails. Let me look at, oh no, not my last email. Here's a press release from the Slavic Gospel Association celebrates 75 years of ministry. I bet you everybody wants to hear that. Oh, this is a different Joe. I thought this was going to be Joe, the guy looking for the free spot again.
Oh.
Although Joe ought to stand by because,
Not another Joe.
Nobody wants another Joe. 785 on the poll. Our goal is 800. When we get to 800, I'm bailing out. Got it?
Got it.
Boy, this was one nasty-ass cold I got down there. I'm so allergic to that.
You got an ass cold?
An ass cold?
You said a nasty ass cold.
I think so.
You need thicker pants.
Rectum.
Joe, not the plumber, says, hi, Neil and George. A belated happy birthday, just kidding, but a belated happy new year. I'm glad to rack up another year listening to your show, and I thank you for playing the old bits last month, including my requests. At a time when humor appears to be lacking, it's good to know a place to go for some real laughs. Or some fake laughs. Or some Canned laughs is always good, too, like that one. Now, let me ask you this before I finish Joe's email. Where did that come from? I mean, I know it's the Babbling Brook, but where did we get that?
She did that on her show, and I stole it.
Oh, you stole it?
One of our contributors, I should say, because you know how all of us producers in that place, we were all kind of friends, and we would hang out and drink beers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while, if somebody said or did something funny on another radio show, they would give it to me. They would say, oh, you got to have this, or I think Neil would get a kick out of that, or you guys should be playing this.
Well, we sure got a lot of mileage out of that, let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
With or without her waxy buildup. One of the great radio stories of all time is how P.D. Bolger ran into her at that lube place. She was getting her car lubed. At least I think it was her car. Across the street from us.
Right.
Right across on 441. And rehired her right there on the spot. Attaboy, P.D. I wonder whatever happened to P.D. Bolger. The Dow's up 62, by the way, for that guy before was predicting the doom and gloom.
I bet you one of our fake emailers would know.
Know what?
What happened to P.D. Bolger.
Oh, and what happened to a Babbling Brook?
That, too.
Anyway, Joe goes on to say, while others are consumed in mediocre humor, such as Dave Barry, I reach for the AM, actually the computer, and tune into the old man and the Cuban. By the way, anything by Krapko is fine with me. A big Mitch Lewis, oi to you. It's Joe, not the plumber.
Oi! Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
How did they know that's what we're going to change the name of the show to?
What, Crap?
The old guy and the Cuban.
I like that. The fisherman and the, what was it? The fisherman and the what?
And the sea?
The old fisherman and the sea.
I don't know.
Hemingway, a real drunk. What was the big deal with him? He was just a drunk.
I don't know, yeah.
Drunken slob.
Of course, I didn't read any of the books, so.
I didn't either.
If I did, maybe
they were great.
They might have been.
All you kids out there, people try to make you read a bunch of boring books like Shakespeare and crap like that. Just throw it in their face and say, this is a bunch of crap. You read it.
Hey, I like Shakespeare.
Why?
He had a lot of dirty humor.
Oh. I liked him, too, that Romeo and Juliet.
See?
What was his name?
Leonard Whiting.
Leonard Whiting.
That was on again just the other day.
Was it really? Was he still as pretty as he was before with them tights on?
Olivia Hussey.
You know, I don't know how they kept the population going, because it seems to me, I could be wrong, and I obviously am wrong, but with all the layers of clothing they used to wear.
Yeah, but they wore cod pieces, you know. There was nothing on the other side of that piece, you know.
There was nothing on the other side of the cod piece?
Well, just the cod.
Sounds fishy to me.
No question.
And what about the ladies?
They had layers and layers. Hey, listen. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I see. Even like in the colonial days of the USA. And then how about back in the days when he had all the British guys all dressed up with their Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah.
All the knights. They had all that armor on and stuff like that. How the hell do you get all those layers of clothing on?
They didn't wear that to bed, you know.
Jesus, God Almighty. Maybe that explains why the Brits became what they are today. And you know what they are today? Can't say it on the air.
This is Neil Rogers.
Howard David's a bitch. KRKE with Mike Olson at 306. How's everything going along this morning? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Here is Sean Cassidy. Whoa, now, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Sean, baby. Come on, baby. Don't do that to me, Sean, baby. Let's try this one. Whoop. Sean, baby. Sean died. Okay. We'll try this one. Here's Foreigner in Cold as Ice. Ah! Hot bang. Help. Did you see that? Wow. What's happening here? Okay, I'll try this one. Sean, you're done? Heavens. Okay, here's Kiss. KRKE. There. No! Heavens! Nobody likes me this morning. Help me! What's happening here? Okay, we'll try this one. This is Casey and the Sunshine Band, ladies and gentlemen. And it's Get Down Tonight. Yeah, Daddy. 61, Kate. Stop! Damn! What happened? None of these things work. Let's see here. Don't panic. Never panic in the radio business, folks. Apparently, I can't play any music. All right? We'll forget those. We'll try one of these. This is Kansas. I love it. I wish I knew what was going on here. It'd help me out some a little bit. We're gonna try and play Kansas and Dust in the Wind at 3:08. This is Mike Olson at KRKE.
Well, I think that one played. Yeah, give it a little whistle. Haven't played that bit in a long time.
I know. It's
not a bit.
Right.
It's for real. Where the hell did that ever come from?
That I do not know.
Wow. It was on a cart, I can tell you that. It was on a cart, just like one of the most famous calls in the history of talk radio. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Here's Oakland Park. Hello.
Yes, is this Mr. Rogers?
Speaking.
Oh.
Mr. Rogers. Reverend Jones here, and...
Now, how many years ago was that?
100.
200? Not long enough.
You know, and if only.
If only what?
If that's the only call they made.
Oh, yeah. They would have been
funny,
great.
we have the drop,
That's right.
and everything would be fine, but no.
Two things they could have done. They could have made that call, and they could have said...
You're gay.
And that would have been it. It would have been fine. Would have been great. Just like...
I'm dying over here.
He never gave us any other calls, you know. Or like... like that. Forget about the calls. Pretend... I mean, when you're on, obviously you're going to take calls. That's your thing.
Right. Well, I'm not burnt out on it yet.
What?
I'm not burnt out on it yet.
I've been burnt out on it since Joe Bell came to town. This is the same guy who said, "Oh, the tape's on Friday, Neil. The tape's on Friday." Oh, and by the way, is that part of my deal? I don't work on Friday?
No, that was going to be.
Yeah. And then he wanted to play tapes, best of tapes. And I said, no, George can do Fridays. It'll be just fine.
No, I think they should have done tapes.
Phil Latzman says Bolger is at WOAI. That's in San Antonio. Good place for him. P.D. Bolger, what a piece of turd. What a corporate ladder-climbing, ass-sucking piece of turd. P.D. Bolger. The assassin. Boy, how many lives did he ruin, huh?
About 30, man.
At least. Of course, Joe Bell is right on his heels. Destroying lives, destroying careers, destroying shows, radio stations, you name it. Is there any doubt about it?
No.
What? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
No, that's right. You don't want that car. Let me know, by the way, the day that he tells you when that car's coming.
That's right. Escalade, as you said it.
Dan in Longwood, who evidently is writing a book. Dan, who's another one of these guys, usually when he writes, he gives me crap about, oh, my team this and your team and all that other crap. All you sports nerds, oh, there's the sirens coming to take Dan away. You hear them?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming to take Jolly Joe away. Oh, God, when I pray for that day, what I wouldn't give. Dan in Longwood says, and today he's very serious, I guess. He's writing a book. I'm sure dealing with South Florida idiots every day has you wishing for retirement yesterday, but I was wondering, once you do retire, where will you live? Will you be in Toronto full-time? Are you going to be a seasonal traveler? I know you like going overseas, so I was just curious if you're going to get out of Toronto for the winters. South Florida probably isn't an option since it's one of the worst places in the country to live. Thanks so much and smooches, says Dan in Longwood. My team's better than your team. Now, usually he speaks. He's not Dan. He speaks. But now he's just Dan Spiegel. What?
He speaks?
No, he's Spiegs.
Ah.
That's his handle, Spiegs. John in Lake Worth says, glad you're back. Happy New Year and all of that crap. I've heard you mention before that you don't have very many Phil bits. I don't. And I don't want to have a... It's not the Phil Hendry Show.
You've got a couple CDs right back here behind me. But,
do you?
Yeah.
I just found a copy of the Best of 94 CD he did for Center One. Some okay stuff on it. Great bit about how Steve Nicholas keeping you in line, about how Wayne Huizinga and Jimmy's Johnson, etc. I also have his 4th of July 50 best bits on cassette. Want copies?
Nah.
If George wants to copy, have him email me. He doesn't want them. I don't either. It's nothing against Phil. It's just...
Are you sure?
We don't need his stuff to... This time, if I send them, he needs to send them back. He never did send back my Bob and Tom CD. Just kidding, George. Let me know, John Lakeworth. Did you ever send it back, his Bob and Tom?
No, I got it right here.
Yeah. No, of course we're not going to send anything back. No, seriously. I mean, people loan you stuff and say, but I need to have it back. If you need to have it back, don't give it to me. Don't let go of it.
You can have it back, I think.
Have what
if I can
back?
find it.
Bob and Tom?
Yeah.
A lot of dirty stuff on there that we can't play no more.
I already ripped it.
They can't play no more. What?
I said, how's it going,
802 votes on the poll. Not too bad. Not spectacular, but not real bad. When Neil hangs up his microphone or himself for good, what will George do? Start his own show, 202. I'm sure Jolly Joe's sitting there with a pen and a paper right now getting ready to sign your ass up.
That's right.
Didn't he say when he signed your contract that, in 2-3 years they might have other plans for you?
Yeah, big plans, like walking the plank.
No,
Maybe
seriously, did he say that?
He said something like that.
You are so evasive, man.
Yeah. He said that'll give him a chance to evaluate my, abilities as a talk show host.
He's going to evaluate you as a talk show. He's going to evaluate anything on the air. The guy that put the Kenny and Blow morning show on the air, and what's his name? Jerks.
What's his name?
Jerks. Start his own show, 203. Get a real job, 172. Go home and wait for something to happen, 167. Become a full-time drug dealer, 69. A lot of money in that white powder.
That's what I heard.
Commit suicide, 47. Join the roller derby, 43. Become a panhandler, 27. Become a carny, 26. Like Art.
Arr.
Become a male hooker, 24. Become a pimp, 16. And move to Montana and become a recluse, 9. Oh, I thought that was going to move up there. They don't know you well, huh?
No, they don't.
That was going to move up there like a rocket.
Like if I won the lottery or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Dear Neil God. Okay, let me print this out. It's short, but I my blood sugar is really high. It's bad because I'm eating all these cough drops with sugar. How come you're not eating the no sugar added? Because they make me crap my brains out. God, the last thing in the world I need is like a watery innards today. I got to go to the bank. I got to take care of a little business, and all I need is like poop running down my leg.
Might make for a good show.
Yeah. No, we've already had enough of those.
You got that emailer, that he likes your poop.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that guy, Joe. Joe the Poop Man. I would read his stuff again, but I'm pooped.
Oh.
Jeff says, love you, love your show. Dear Neil God, keep the Bubba updates coming. My daily listening pleasures include Howard in the morning, Neil God 10 to 2, and Bubba in the afternoon. My alarm clock goes off to Fat Paul. This morning he was talking about Chinaman. Coincidence, I think. Not. Chinaman. So help me God, if he said that, you tub of crap, Castronova. Can you believe that?
I believe it.
Chinaman. You haven't, when you fart, it smells like somebody else's fart, Castronova. You jerk, you rip-off artist, you. Can you play I Hate This Place on loop for 30 minutes? Love you, love the show, my queen, Jeff. Now, what is that loop?
I hate this place.
What is that under?
Bellevue O'Brien. Yeah.
Oh, God, am I sharp or what?
I hate this place.
See?
Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. Nothing works here. I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. I hate this place. Nothing works here.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Now at Central Park in New York City, the scariest, most adrenaline-pumping ride to hit the country in decades. It's the Wall Street Roller Coaster. Hang on to your seat, hang on to your wallet, and get ready to lose your ass. Live on the roller coaster now is Rupert, age 58, seeing his retirement savings spin out of control on the Wall Street Roller Coaster. Here's 47-year-old Marjorie, after investing her life savings in AIG, riding the Wall Street Roller Coaster. And here's an elderly couple, Morris and Pearl, watching their fixed income go topsy-turvy on the Wall Street Roller Coaster. Wall Street. Trust us. It's a ride that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Okay, I'm ready for the quiz now.
What there is of it.
It seems Britney Spears' legal team has finally had enough.
Senator Hillary Clinton was clearly emotional at a midday event in Dover.
Police arrive at Britney's home, where they reportedly hear her giggling hysterically inside a locked bathroom.
A possible breakthrough in the 2-month-old writer's strike.
Roger Clemens fires back. The baseball great denies charges of using steroids and human growth hormone.
Quarterback Tony Romo, who did not play very well against the Giants, is getting blasted in Dallas for spending last weekend in Cabo with girlfriend and bad luck charm Jessica Simpson.
Britney Spears still isn't allowed to visit her children.
Fighting for the Democratic lead, Obama and Clinton took the gloves off.
New England Patriots are going to be 18-0 going into the Super Bowl.
The Giants are going to the Super Bowl.
Well, the Boston Globe is so confident the Patriots will win the Super Bowl. Their sports staff has already written a book about the team's perfect 19-0 season.
The Giants have won the Super Bowl.
It's day 4 for Britney Spears at UCLA Medical Center on involuntary psychiatric hold.
Amy Winehouse, they've tried to make her go to rehab, and now she has.
Hillary Clinton knows she has to turn the tide.
$3.49 for a gallon of regular unleaded gas ties a record.
New York Governor Eliot Spitzer apologizes after being linked to a major prostitution ring.
Former Beatle Paul McCartney is paying big time to settle his divorce with Heather Mills.
Senator Hillary Clinton is backing away from her story that she came under sniper fire during a trip to Bosnia as First Lady.
Richie Sambora, the lead guitarist for Bon Jovi, is out of jail this morning after being arrested for drunk driving.
We now know who the Democratic nominee is going to be, and no one's going to dispute it.
3 tornadoes have left neighborhoods in southeast Virginia devastated.
Miley Cyrus topless.
If the Democratic nomination battle is supposedly over, somebody forgot to tell Hillary Clinton.
All right, day 2 of the R. Kelly child pornography trial.
Senator Edward Kennedy has been diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor.
It was so hot I saw Amy Winehouse smoking a cracksicle.
So 1 week from today, Barack Obama hopes to have enough delegates to become the Democratic nominee.
The unveiling of the iPhone 2.0.
At least 24 people have been hospitalized after eating contaminated raw tomatoes.
As a result of his sudden and unexpected death, he's being mourned like a president or a pope. Tim Russert died on Friday, just 58 years old.
AAA reports the average price of unleaded regular is now $4.07.
He taught us what we can't say on television and where we should put all the stuff we have. Comic icon George Carlin has passed away.
You're not the only one getting hit by high gas prices. Many prostitution houses are also hurting. Some media reports had suggested A-Rod may be romantically linked with singer Madonna.
330 active wildfires in California, and thousands of homes are threatened, although not nearly as many homes that are threatened by Countrywide Mortgage.
AAA says the national average for unleaded regular is about $4.11 a gallon.
Anheuser-Busch has agreed to a $52 billion takeover.
Mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are getting help from the Treasury Department, a bailout, and
Canine cuisine will be off limits at some restaurants during next month's Olympic Games in Beijing.
General Motors is in trouble.
Brett Favre says he doesn't feel welcome in Green Bay.
And Angelina Jolie news and the baby twins, well, they finally left the hospital in Nice, France over the weekend.
Senator John McCain is jumping all over Obama.
Former presidential hopeful John Edwards is now responding to a tabloid report that he had an affair. Edwards says this is simply not true.
You're not allowed to streak in Beijing for the Olympics.
Federal investigators want to know what Mary-Kate Ashland knows about the death of her friend Heath Ledger.
One of the most important qualities in the next president of the United States is to be very, very, very old.
The woman John Edwards says he had an affair with is refusing to have a paternity test on her young child.
Swimming phenom Michael Phelps' quest for perfection.
I'm a hockey mom from Alaska. David Duchovny has voluntarily checked himself into a rehab facility for sex addiction. You can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Don LaFontaine, who was arguably the best voiceover guy ever, has passed away.
Tom Brady got hit right on the knee.
Yeah, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
United Airlines is doubling its fee to check a second bag on domestic flights.
Clay Aiken makes the most unsurprising announcement in years. Yup, I'm gay.
McCain doesn't think the current bailout proposal will pass.
We're a couple of mavericks. Gosh darn it.
Obama has his first clear lead over John McCain.
Paul Newman's legacy will live on for years.
The Dow dropped almost 780 points.
The Rays move on to the World Series to take on the Philadelphia Phillies.
Sarah Palin going rogue. Governor Sarah Palin is still defending herself over the $150,000 wardrobe the Republican National Committee bought her.
And CNN can now project that Barack Obama, 47 years old, will become the president-elect of the United States. We know the challenges that tomorrow will bring are the greatest of our lifetime.
Leaders from the big three automakers were back on Capitol Hill today working to secure a massive bailout.
New York Giants star receiver Plaxico Burress is being charged with a crime after shooting himself in the leg.
The deadly face-off in Mumbai, India continues to unfold. Las Vegas judge Jackie Glass rejected Simpson's apology and sentenced him up to 33 years in prison.
Nationwide average for a gallon of regular unleaded is now $1.72.
Oprah Winfrey opens about her recent weight gain. Michael Jackson's famous glittering glove is going on the auction block. The House has passed the Big Three auto bailout bill.
The economy is so bad, it's on ad today for the new Trump trailer park. That's how bad. Yeah.
Wow. How many times did you play that last week?
None.
You didn't play it?
Once.
Oh. I know you better than that you wouldn't have played it.
There were a couple of other long bits that I played also. Like a couple of medleys, they were crap, of course, but just one-time plays each. One that was a medley of bits and one that was a medley of hits.
And one was a medley of Schmitz.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. Good thing I didn't listen.
Me either.
I didn't listen to any radio when I was down there last week because, Bill, Mark one from... What?
Because there isn't any.
Can't complain about the radio in this market, especially the FM. Boy, I'm really... This cough is coming back bad. Not good.
Lordy.
What?
Nothing. That sounded gross.
Did it?
A little bit.
How's that sound?
Better.
Bill from Tampa says, Happy New Year to you and George. Wanted to tell you I'm from Tampa, but travel to South Florida quite a bit. I love to gamble high stakes. I'm choked up. I can't talk. Wow.
Well, wait.
That damn phlegm. What do you think?
That it's phlegm? Want me to spin some wax?
Yeah.
I know we already heard this, but what I had.
What is it?
Out of touch.
What is it?
Out of touch. It's got a nice long.
Yeah, you're out of touch. Play the music and I'll cough over it. Nobody does a cough up like I do.
Cute.
And I'm doing the cough drops and it's making it worse.
We'll play all the Hall & Oates bits.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Bad luck? Because it's sugar?
No.
Sugar makes you phlegmy, maybe?
Does it?
Does me.
Or another Bubba update. Wow. This is going to take a while. You ever get a coughing fit?
All the time.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's a poll suggestion. One food I refuse to eat. Done it a million times.
Phlegm.
What?
Phlegm.
Refuse to eat phlegm?
Sometimes you can't help it, though.
God. Where did this come from?
Your lungs.
You're right. I'm getting choked up. It's over this 1 to 2 hour. Anyway, Bill from Tampa, what?
I think you need to boil your head.
Sounds like a plan.
In water. In salt water.
Let me go nuke it.
There until it pops.
Bill says, I love to gamble high stakes, and Miccosukee is the place. See, I got through a sentence.
Hey, one sentence
when you
at
play
a time.
25 or 55 bucks per spin, you can either win a lot or lose your ass, and I've done both. I went to the Hard Rock on one trip, and while the hotel is fantastic, the slots and $6 beers blow. Mikasuki sucks for service, but it's a place to make a few bucks quick. Have a great year. Bill from Tampa. Thanks, Bill. I think I'm getting my voice back. Do you think so?
Okay, good. I got some music ready.
Let me blow it. My nose.
Just in case.
What?
Nothing, just some nice instrumental music.
Oh. This is a call from hell, man. It's from South Florida. Thanks a lot for getting me sick. Here's an update for the emailer Jeff, says Jimmy. I flipped over to Howard's replay, and the listeners are calling and emailing to complain about Bubba. I should put that cough drop down. Put it down.
There you go.
God. Every complaint is being mocked, and he's even telling people to cancel their subscription if they don't like it. I can't believe the effing nerve of Howard and his staff, who are vehemently defending this bullshit. They're actually mocking and laughing at their own customers, calling them whiners and complainers. Oh, well, we can relate to that.
Oh, very whiny.
This from a guy who complains about the air conditioning in his limousine. Someone tried pointing out that Howard himself left terrestrial radio to be censor-free, and here he is trying to sell censored radio. If Howard wants to play repeat so bad, let's hear the replay of his shows where he tore apart Opie and Anthony for going back to terrestrial and airing their censored replays on XM. He called them phonies, con artists, and said they were ripping off their listeners. Maybe he's right, though. After all, if I had a few $100 million, I wouldn't give a schmidt about anyone or anything either. Mark me down on the poll for suicide. This world is hopelessly inhabited with drooling retards, says Jimmy. Calm down, Jimmy. Just a radio show, okay? God. Getting all whipped up about Bubba the Love Sponge and about... maybe that's the last nail in the coffin for Sirius, you think? Could be.
Could be.
I mean, when your stock is tumbling down to 12, 13 cents a share, when people are bailing out, when nobody's got any money for stupid paying for radio, and that's really a good thing is to stick it to people. First they did the bait and switch by moving all the channels around. Now they're putting censored AM, FM, terrestrial radio on satellite. Crazy, man.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
The wee-wee.
Absolutely. Yes. It's been brought to my attention that your ratings are dying now. Uh-huh. Well, that ought to show you what a big asset I was to you, and how. You thought you could find somebody good enough to fill my baggy pants? It ain't easy. There ain't no chance I'll ever be coming back. Outside of considering a lucrative contract. If you want to know what'll save you from shutting that transmitter down, why, that's easy. Sure. All you need is more. All you need is more. All you need is a show to go blow.
I'm in your old time slot and only got you today, slot. Despite that, my ratings have bottomed out in the tank. Sports radio has a revolving door for the gayest of the whores and squeakish.
All you need is more. Now see here. All you need is more. All you need is a show to go blow. By the way, something.
Yeah?
Jack told me to give you this.
What?
It's here. What are you going to do, fire me, huh?
Like old times.
Yeah. Okay, 118 at QM. Let me see if I got my voice back. This phlegm is just, it's the post-nasal drip. It's dripping over here.
Right.
Here's Eddie who says, feel better. You sound like Schmidt. The best stuff for a cough is Zicam Cough Max cough spray. Go get some, you'll be fine. I use that, it makes the cough go right away. You know what else is supposed to be great? I got some in my cupboard in the kitchen. Bentley's.
Yeah.
It tastes like, it's the worst tasting crap. In fact, they advertise, they say it tastes horrible and it works great. You think I ought to go get a spoon and some Bentleys?
Couldn't hurt.
Try it on the air. It tastes like battery acid. It's just the foulest tasting mung. Oh, God. Okay, let me go get my bottle and a spoon. Okay, it's not Bentley's, it's Buckley's. So sorry. Shake well. Buckley's cough and cold. Okay, I'm shaking it. I'm opening it. I got a teaspoon, okay?
Okay.
Take 2 teaspoons.
Just drink it right out of the bottle there.
Oh, yeah. If you ever tasted this, you'd die. Oh, God, is that gross. Oh, one more. Oh, I can't do it. Gotta.
You can do it. Do it.
Oh. Oh, God. It tastes like somebody died and they put him in the bottle. Now, how do I sound?
Better?
I do?
Well, you're not coughing, are you?
No.
See?
I'm not coughing. I'm crying.
Oh.
I'm crying from the taste of that Buckley's. Oh, my God. Didn't he just die not that long ago, William F. Buckley? I think they stuck him in that bottle. It's as sour and nasty as he was. Every bit. Speaking of sauerkraut, German tycoon Adolf Merkel commits suicide. I mean, well, what's a few $1 billion down the toilet, right?
Right.
German billionaire Adolf Merkel, assailed by financial turmoil and struggling to salvage his business empire, has killed himself, his family said today. The desperate situation of his companies caused by the financial crisis, the uncertainties of his last few weeks, and his powerlessness to act have broke passionate family entrepreneur, and he took his own life. They broken him down into a sour old kraut. At least I'm not coughing, you're right. Prosecutors in the southern German town of Ulm, near Merkel's home, said the 74-year-old died when a train struck him late on Monday. There was nobody else involved. He jumped in front of a big old train.
I see.
That's kind of like, I don't know. Would you want to do that?
No, not just yet.
No, I'm just saying, if you wanted to kill yourself, would you do it by jumping in front of a train?
No, I like the tall building thing myself.
You do? And what if you get halfway down and change your mind?
Then you're screwed, aren't you?
Oh, I don't think so. This was a little premature evaluation. Ooh, I munged on this news story, too. Oh, no, it's from the bottle.
Oh, okay. What color is it?
From the Buckley's bottle, Under the cap, there's like that little, I don't know what that stuff is.
Mung.
Merkel was ranked as the world's 94. It's like snot now. I thought it was stuff from the bottle, but it's not. Oh, it's like a big oh, get off my finger. Did you ever have one of those that sticks to your finger?
Oh, yeah.
You keep trying to flick it away, flick it. Flick it.
Sometimes it
Merkel
comes back.
was ranked as the world's 94th richest person in 2008, according to Forbes magazine, and his family controls a number of German companies, including cement maker Heidelberg Cement and generic drug company Radiopharm. But its empire was rocked last year by wrong way something made on shares in car maker Volkswagen. Banking sources have told Reuters the family lost hundreds of millions of euros on investments, with losses of about 400 million euros on Volkswagen shares alone, $539 million. It has been in talks for weeks with banks to renegotiate loans. Shares in Heidelberg Cement were off 5% at 31.70 euros at 10:47 this morning, having dropped to 29.16 euros earlier in the session. He's dead. Adolf Merkel dead. Anybody know who that was?
No.
No idea. Don't know, don't care. All I know is I'm not coughing. Maybe if I drank a little soda now, that would
help.
Well, just kind of smooth things out,
All right.
Smooth it over. Like when you go to Joe Bell this afternoon and smooth things over. Here's one that says, why the hell would you go around telling people that Red Lobster is good? Based on your recommendation, I went there with my sister-in-law. It was terrible. Well, I hate to break the news to you, but the ones here may be different from the ones there. Okay? A lot of people have said that to me. You're always raving about the clam chowder. Well, I have news for you, pal. It was inedible. I had the shrimp trio. The fried shrimp was okay. Scampi was all butter, and the grilled shrimp was raw. I hate you, Neil. You know nothing about food. Why did you do us all a favor and jump off the balcony of yours, you fat Jew faggot? Sincerely, screw you, fatso. Well, screw you. Up yours. The Red Lobster here's pretty damn good. And the ones there, from what I hear, not so good. Too bad. See what I mean? They care enough to send the very worst. Full of hate. I'm sitting here choking and gagging and puking.
Right.
Only Eddie had the decency to say, hey, here, try this and feel better, you know?
They like that
Only
kick
Eddie.
you when you're down.
No, they'll kick you when you're down, when you're up, when you're sideways. They don't give a crap. The nastiness of South Florida. Oh, you just make that up, Neil. Yeah, I don't make it up. I sit here and I read it day after day. Oh, there's a thing from the Supernatural.
The riveting. The critically acclaimed.
Boy, if those aren't two of the hottest brothers in the history of the human race.
Supernatural. Sunday to Wednesday at noon on Scream.
I bet you don't get that on your cable, do you, Scream TV?
No, you tease me all the time.
I got a much better cable than you got, but that's the way it goes.
Yep.
And also a much better Red Lobster, obviously. Ah, screw you, you fat old bastard. Why would you go around telling... Because the one here is great. It's not good, it's great. And they got this dessert, I forget what it's called. That chocolate cake with ice cream and hot fudge and whatever it is. The chocolate wave would just set you free, I'm telling you right now. So next time you come up...
Be right there.
Go over to Red Lobster. I really think I made a miraculous comeback with that Buckley's. But I don't think most of you could get by the taste.
Really?
I think it's a Canadian product anyway. Do you ever hear of it?
Nope.
Let me look on the label and it says, oh, you don't want to drink this crap. Maybe it's British. The Buckley's Company. And then it says something. Oh, I see, in French. That's in French. Bastards. Everything here's got to be in English and in French. Don't they tell us where they make this? If I was them, I wouldn't tell anybody either. They'd come and get my ass. Sucrose-free, alcohol-free, and enough to just tear your guts out.
Alcohol-free?
Yeah.
I don't want it then.
But you can smoke it.
Oh.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
On a lollipop, little boy?
I shaved my balls for my girl Holly. La 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 la. So she'll lick 'em like a lolly. La 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 la. Maybe next time I'll just wax 'em. La 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 la. As they grow back, I'll have to scratch 'em. La 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 la.
Christmas.
Well, I'm glad it's over.
Oh, thank God that's over.
I call it Stressmas. It's over. We're free.
Glad the holiday season is dead.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Had a couple days off work, but it wasn't no club mess.
Big deal.
And now there's an aching inside my head.
Which made his head twice its normal size.
'Cause still got lights up on your home.
Oh, crap, I forgot.
After midnight, January 1 should have taken them down. Take them down, you lazy bum. You see the job that really ain't so tough. Why don't you take down the lights? Take down the lights. Should have packed them up January 1. Why don't you take down the lights? Take down the lights. I say, phone me, take them down, wasting electricity. Besides, you're the only one still celebrating Christmas in this whole entire city. Well, what are you waiting for?
I'm a lazy jerk.
Okay. I think I'm going to leave like 2 minutes early.
Okay.
Because I'm illin'.
You be illin'?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm saying like before the last... you know, we'll play the last break, and then you'll play the last whatever it's going to be. You think they can handle that for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Probably.
I don't mean the audience, I mean management. Yeah. Oh, gee, now he's bailing out early. Well, you know what? Half price, half show. I think 10 to noon sounds good. Maybe 11 to 1. Don't have to get up so early if I do 11 to 1. You could do 10 to 11 and 1 to 2.
Every other hour?
What do you think?
Sure, let's do it.
Elisa waiting for snow in cold, gray New York. Well, guess what? It's sunny here, but it's going to snow like hell tonight, they said. And I bet you if Castronova is really saying, what is he saying now? Chinaman. Somebody needs to just beat the snot out of him, which, believe you me, there'd be a... You think Josh Friedman would be a mess? Can you imagine old Paulie? Elisa says, I agree with you about Buckley's cough medicine. It's widely available in Canada. Hard to find in the U.S., eh? I had to go to a Walmart pharmacy in Florida. I know Walmart sucks. And ask the pharmacist behind the counter for it. It was not on the shelves, and a Jamaican lady had recommended it to me. I'd never heard of it. I can't find it back here where I live now in New York. I think it tastes like tree sap or battery acid. Not sure which, but boy, does it work. Yeah, it does. See how I'm talking now?
Yep.
Not choking and coughing. I even still got a little mucus, you know. If there was a God, there'd be no phlegm. Anyway, I have a great year in review for you. It's worth a look-see. If the link doesn't work, go to YouTube and type in Uncle Jay Explains It. Date of the video. Well, okay. Thanks, Elisa. I don't do links. I don't do YouTubes. I don't do links. I don't have time for that crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That one now, did Eric tell you whether we put that one on our website or not?
He did. It's up there.
It's up there? You want to get a good chuckle, I guarantee you, you'll laugh your ass off at this. I'm going to the home page. I'm looking to see where he stuck it. Sock and awe. If you want to kill some time, throw in the shoes at Bush. Sock and awe. There's the cartoons. There's the lovely Brady Quinn. There's a whole bunch of... I don't see it. Do you see it?
No.
I don't see it, Eric. Ah, jeez. Well, nobody's perfect, even Eric. Maybe he lied to you.
He'd never.
Mark in West Palm Beach says, just checking in from West Palm. I work during the day and usually listen to you on the radio in my truck. I happen to be by my computer and wanted to say I started listening to your show about 6 years ago. I still look forward to you, to your sarcasm, bits, and drop-ins.
It's right under the pole, man.
What?
It's right under the pole.
It's under the pole?
Right above Sock and On.
Oh, let me look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a link. You got to click the link, and then it's beautiful. You will laugh your asses off. Religious nut, too. That's the best part. And the guy's going, faggot, faggot, and all this other good stuff. A few other Fs. George's offbeat shenanigans and religious rants really make my day. Anyway, keep up the good work and hack one up for me, says Mark. There you go, Mark. It's a saber. Brandon says they sell that crap here, meaning Buckley's, and I've taken it before. Nearly made me puke, but it does work. It is the worst tasting, foulest crap in history. God, is it awful. Buckley's. Oh.
All right.
What?
I'll write it down.
Someday you'll need it. You'll never find it there. Go to Walmart. A guy like you can afford to shop at Walmart.
I don't go to Walmart.
I know. You hate Walmart, and so do I.
Yeah. With a passion.
Like poison. Even worse than you hate Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Just Kraft in general.
I don't know anybody who don't like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Don't like Kraft products, period.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
There are so many other brands of macaroni and cheese, and every one of them is better.
Get out of here. You're just doing that to
accidental
wound the
macaroni
people.
And cheese is better.
What is?
Accidental macaroni and cheese.
Occidental? I didn't know that Chinaman ate macaroni.
The who?
Chinaman.
Stop ripping off Castronova, would you?
He's shameless. That's the thing about him. He's just shameless. Blatantly, right out there in front of the whole world, just rips off everybody else. And then like it's supposed to be funny, I guess. See, people who have funny lines or funny material or whatever, it can be funny when they do it, but when somebody else rips it off, it ceases to be funny.
Well, when we're buried over here on the AM dial like we are, who's going to know?
It kind of sounds like LeBastard and his obsession with...
Roy!
But what's the big deal with that? Who even cares about that anymore? See, if he really does this funny, offbeat show that everybody talks about, LeBastard, what is it that's so funny?
Roy!
I just don't get it. I mean, I've never heard it.
Well, maybe then you'd get it.
You think?
I don't know.
No emails in the view there. Boy, that's bad. 855 votes on the poll, though. Boy, if you'd have really pushed it, we could have got 900. On the 6th of January.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not pushing the poll anymore. That's probably our problem.
I mean, we could.
What? No, seriously, that was, that became Chris's rule. He was the poll man. That's what Clarence said. Maybe that's how we got that 5 to 6 gig with Jesse Agler. Don't forget, get up real early and listen to QM Early Edition with Jesse Agler, 5 to 6 a.m. before Joe Rose. Jesse's a good guy. I'm sure he's doing a fine hour in there. Of course, nobody's awake yet. And Chris Whalen is the producer as an extra bonus incentive for you to get your ass up real early out of bed. Wouldn't that do it for you? When you get up like 4:30 in the morning to get ready to listen to Jesse and Chris?
Talking sports, you bet.
Now, does Chris get to interact with Jesse, or is he just
How the
running
hell would
the
I
board?
know?
Well, do a little
Maybe
investigative
he'll call
reporting,
in.
will you please? He what?
Maybe Chris will call in.
Maybe Chris will send you a text message.
Lick it and stick it.
Alex Bennett, Steve Kane, Nick, Lawrence, Scotty Chapin, Mike, Glora, Scott Schwartz, Herman, and McBean. Gail Bright, Coleman, Chandler, Sandy Deal, April Wortham, Glenn Wild, Steve Stansel, don't forget Bill Wise. Sharon Mahoney, Johnny Dolan, Aileen Epstein, Amos Goebel, Ann Hummel, Stan Major, Dorothy McIntyre. The Prize, Barry, Larry Pottle, Connie Thorpe, Sharon Francis, Joan Hans, Sister Squeegel, and the Parapar. We can't forget the people, though we try to hide them and forget we knew them. They used to work beside us, even though there's times they made us lose our minds. Henry Barrow, Rick, Alfred, Tim, Dean, Gary, Bruce, Jeff, Clark, Johnny Darkin, Joe Zagacki, Hank Goldberg, Meg Green, Marvin Roman, Laura Reed, Stephanie Lewis, Gwen Edwards, don't forget between. These aren't all the people who are still here working and Neil's still burping. We are all just people who are out there giving just to make a living.
I would like to exterminate rabbits.
What's up, Doc? And we're out there giving just to make a living. We are all just people.
Tuning out.
Neil and Rick and Sons are what we're listening for. The ratings have never been better. But all you'll ever see on the TV or on the billboard is the coast or the sports or the weather. It's always Hank Goldberg and Sonny Hirsch and Joe Zagacki. They ought to know by now. No one ever listens to that other crap. It's the talent that keeps the place running. And if that's all they're gonna tout, the talent is losing out. And buddy, if they screw it up, then I'm
Tuning out. I guess it was a delayed reaction. For years, I've told them, take your radio, flush it down the toilet, shove it, stick it, and now they finally did it.
Is it time?
Oh, what?
Is it time?
It's time.
All right.
By the way, 1:52, I'm leaving. 1:53,
Okay.
whatever that time is.
Right.
I'm just telling you right now, so we don't come back from
I'm
that
on
last
top,
break.
don't
and,
worry.
oh, what happened to the old man? Maybe he's got a choking, hacking cough. Joe is back for the third time. He says the third plug's a charm. No, it's not, Joe. The answer is still no. But I'll read it. Are you tired of taking crap from others? Is your boss giving you enough crap to last a lifetime? Maybe your wife is giving you so much crap you have to put boots on to walk around. Then call and give us all the crap you want. We'll take crap from anyone, even if you're a corrupt governor from a Midwestern state. As bad as the economy is today, and America is going in the toilet, if it smells like crap to you, it smells like money to us. Mention Neil or any other old queen and get your 10% no crap discount, says Joe. Nice try, Joe. You can send 50,000 emails, and we're still not giving free plugs on this show, Joe. Are we?
Nope.
Now, Here's one. Rocky from Miami. Talk about convoluted. I think it's because of you. You know, you were on all last week.
Must be it.
This drug crowd, man, just unbelievable. Hi, Neil and George. Love the show. Just started listening a few months ago because of my friend, the pimp, Tom Lampman. When the F are you going to move on from the G.D. Brady Quinn thing already? Jesus effing Christ, man. I'm not. Well, what does that mean? When am I going to move on from it?
I don't know.
I like him, okay? He's pretty. I have to say most Red Lobsters do suck, except the cheesy biscuits and the desserts. The biscuits suck. They're as dry as a 10-year-old halava. They're as dry as 20-year-old matzah. That's how dry they are. And the desserts are great, you're right. And the Red Lobster here is excellent. Keep up the good work and go Heat. Oh.
All right.
Oh, go Heat, says Rocky from my... See what I mean about a convoluted email?
Yep.
She-mail? Michael says, I'm originally from South Florida. I now live in Las Vegas, and our Red Lobsters are awesome. Been listening to you for many, many years. Love you and George. Hope you get rid of the cough soon, Michael. Buckley's got rid of my cough. A miracle. God. And boy, what you have to... I guess you have to, pay a wicked price to get rid of that cough and all the amount.
I reckon.
Because taking 1 teaspoon of that is just wicked enough. And then knowing you're going to have to take another teaspoon, oh, my God. It's enough to make you gag. But I stopped gagging.
Good job.
Oh, there's Tony Blair.
Smuggling issue, that is the
Oh, talk about a constipated Brit. He's like the poster child for the constipated Brits. The way they speak, like they haven't had a BM in 20 years.
That Israel feels that it is achieved something, namely the end.
He talks like the guys in Clockwork Orange,
Coincidence?
Fuel. 864 votes. Boy, we could have done 900 easy with Chris here today. You're screwing us on our poll, Joe Bell. There's a special place in hell for a guy named Joe Bell. And he sends me an email like, Happy New Year, and I love our deal, and what makes you think I want you to go away? And screw you, Joe. You're a killer. You make Pete Bolger seem like the Good Samaritan. 865 on the poll. When Neil hangs up his microphone or croaks or whatever, what will George do? Start his own show, 215. Get a real job, 185. Go home and wait for something to happen, 176. That's what I think is a good idea. Go home and sit around, wait for the phone to ring.
I'll start now.
Watch some TV. Sit close to the phone, though, because it's going to ring.
Okay.
Become a full-time drug dealer, 75. There's some good money in that crap. Wasn't that Santino said that? There's good money in that white powder?
That's what he said. There's a lot of money in the white powder.
Yeah. Commit suicide, 50. Join the roller derby, 47. Become a panhandler, 30. First, they'll have to buy you a pan. Become a carny, 28. Become a male hooker, 27. I really doubt that. I don't think George will be getting a lot of business.
No. I'll be very lonely. Very unsuccessful.
Move to Montana and become a recluse. Now, do you say recluse or recluse?
I switch it up. I like to keep people guessing.
Yeah, mix and match. Jimmy and Danny, Danny and Jimmy. Arabs and Jews, Jews and Arabs. 16 say you're going to move to Montana and become a pimp, 16. George wouldn't mind becoming a pimp if he was, in which I'm sure that most pimps get in plenty of their own action, right?
I assume. I
Maybe
would
get
know.
a good discount.
I'll ask around.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's all yours, and it's been a real treat. And maybe I'll come in tomorrow, and who knows?
All right.
Biggest names.
Have a nice call.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Pot's not good, it's great.
Oh, some this morning.
Way down in Jamaica in the Caribbean, they got the best herb that you ever seen. Ask anybody in that neighborhood, they tell you this the country where the ganja be good. Rastaman has some he want to sell, and from a mile away you can detect the smell of smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. He light up the spliff and toke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. You can carry lots of herb in the gunny sack. Smoke it every day until your lungs turn black. With all the money that we have made, Jamaica doesn't need any foreign aid. American tourists come here and say, got nothing like this in the USA. They smoke, smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and toke. They begin to cough and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. Mama tell her son you are a Rasta man. You like to smoke the giant spliff whenever you can. Many people coming here from miles around to buy the herb from you by the ounce and the pound. Rasta man say to her, Mama, you right. The ganja be good tonight. And then they smoke, smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good.